morning, Birmingham. It's Ben and Woods on the Breakfast Club. It's a dreary day here in Birmingham. It is dog-s outside. Nasty out there. Good morning, everybody. Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan. 97.3 The Fan. Yeah. I don't know where that came from. A little punchy, a little tired, a little sleepy. But we are here, man, ready to jam today. Actually got a lot to talk about today. Got a lot of fun to have. And we'll do it with the whole crew. Paulie Reindl's the executive producer of the program. Good morning, Paulie.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. You got Ben Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor. Good morning, Benjamin.
Good morning, and I cannot stress enough, if you are going to work today, be really careful.
Or just
there.
don't.
Or
just don't.
better yet,
Yeah.
if you can work from home and do not have to get on the roadways, don't.
That was one of the more gnarlier drives
And I think it's only supposed to get worse. I mean, we were out there, not a ton of traffic, but I was going slow and still sliding out there. 2 or 3 accidents already on the way in. It is bad today.
Yeah, Surfers Rule All just is thinking about calling in. 100% call in. If you have the ability or you got a day off or whatever, or you can take it or work from home, this is the day. This is the day to do it. Our buddy Jeff West, we were actually at fantasy camp with Jeff. He's one of our tier ones. He goes, well, I may have to report. Or, no, he says, I have to report for jury duty this morning, which is insult to injury on a crap morning. He says that apparently integral member of Ben and Woods' YouTube live stream was not a valid enough reason to be excused. So he has to switch off the radio. He's got to switch to the radio side around 7 a.m. Imagine trying to throw that in to get out of jury duty.
Well, it may not get you out of jury duty, but if you get the right judge, who is a tier 1, could get you off the actual trial. Possibly.
Yeah, I guess it could.
It could. You can always ask the judge.
Well, we had a moment yesterday that completely broke my brain. I saw it on our X yesterday. One of our tier 1s, James Hess, who is a great dude. He's James Hess Esquire. He's an attorney. Believe he does trusts and wills, but not for trust and will. But he also does that. Says, well, this is certainly a first for me. And he takes a picture of this person's will. And in addendum 1.8, arrangements for funeral or memorial service, it says, my agent shall have the power and authority to arrange for my funeral or other memorial service. I wish for my agent to arrange an in memoriam shout out to his family on the Ben and Woods radio show in San Diego, California. And I thought to myself,
now, is this real?
This is real.
We know this.
That's real.
It's not a bit.
100%, not a bit. Somebody drew up their last will and testament, and in said last will and testament, James going over it, we'll sign off on it or whatever, help him get it done. In it, he said, or she said, I want to shout out to his family on the Ben and Woods show. Now, here's the thing. I would love to be able to provide that for you, but I don't, because that means I don't know who you are, but I don't want you to die.
Well, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Hopefully, we're still on the air.
That's
long
the other
into the future when you do pass away, and we can then.
What happens if we're not? Are we liable now?
We're liable.
We're jerks.
Do we have to return to the air like in
couldn't fulfill their last wish?
Yeah, exactly. So I think, but that one was one. You come across these little moments in your business, and especially in this business, you go, all right, I feel like I made it a little bit. It was nice. We did a great job at this or whatever. You, Darvish, is wearing your T-shirt. You feel pretty good. That one to me got me yesterday. I was like, somebody put us in their last will and testament. It blew my mind. I thought that was really cool. So now, all of you other guys,
how about a little something for the effort?
Yeah, listen, hey,
in the will as well.
Get you a little money for it. How about that? All right. If you're gonna do it, let's just do it. Right, but again,
you got a condo somewhere you need to leave to someone. I mean, we're here.
Also, guys, don't get any ideas out there and start requiring a lot of us when you pass away. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is funny, but let's not make a bit out of it. Where I'm getting phone calls like, "Hey, Woodsy, this guy requested he wants you to throw the last pile of dirt on his casket." I'm like, all right, where am I going? Poway. All right, I'll see you out there. Like, let's not get crazy. We have lives too, but how's everybody doing? How's everybody feeling? I think everyone's in here's running at about 80. I'm about 80%, 85.
Yeah, I took the night off last night. Definitely under the weather. Felt a little bit better this morning. I'm glad I'm here with you guys.
Look great.
I did have an ego boosting moment yesterday.
Did you?
I did. I got a random email at work.
Ooh.
What's her name?
Secret admirer?
Well, her name is Kim.
Okay.
She said, I'm in town for a few days and saw you on the news. Best looking sportscaster ever. I hope I made you smile. Kim. Oh, yeah, I smiled.
What is happening right now?
I know.
Kim, if you're listening,
Kim, call in.
833-288-0973.
I responded. I said, that's very kind of you. And of course, you made me smile. Hope you have a nice visit. And she said, wow, I did not think you would write back. You made my day.
Please,
Take care.
Please don't show her your penis on your email. I'm begging you right now, okay?
Did not.
We don't need that kind of
No
scandal.
pictures involved either way. No pictures. Just simply a nice ego boosting moment
have
for
a-
yours
a
truly.
last
Is there a
name
now-
for Kim?
is there a name?
I
or-
do.
Have you
Did you
researched
look her
it?
up?
I may have done a quick Google just in case. I mean, it's a fairly common name. There could be a million of them out there. Just curious.
Give me that name. I
Is that your first
I'll
groupie?
do it during the break.
I'll have it before the end of the.
Is that your
half
first
hour.
groupie?
I think so. Yes. Wow. She's obviously doesn't know me that well because she's from out of town. I think once you get to know my dorky personality, maybe some of the appeal is lost.
Maybe she's
apparently.
a tier 1.
What did she call you? The most handsome sports guy
Best
ever?
looking sportscaster ever.
That's fantastic. That is, and so when you started to read it at first, I was like, oh, well, that's obviously a spam email. But you actually there was like dialogue. Well, this is a whole new thing. Delilah's so mad right now, so mad. I hope you're not listening, Delilah.
Hey there, Delilah.
He's still very, very loyal. Yeah, the group, the news groupies, I bet are a thing.
I have never really encountered
20
the
years, you've
species
never had
myself.
one?
No, not really.
Huh. I got a open day one time. This is pretty great. It was my birthday. This is probably 12 years ago. Scrolling, it was my birthday, and I was scrolling through some birthday messages, and some girl sent me her boobs and said, "Here you go, Woodsy. Happy birthday. I know you like them big," is what she said, and I will never forget it. And they were
Hooter research.
yeah, they were of good size. Knee shooters.
Yeah, I don't get those sort of emails
That was
or
interesting.
direct messages or anything.
That is, I'm rarely at a loss for words. I'm kind of at a loss for words. I wonder where she's traveling from. So she comes in town. She checks into the Westin, and she puts on the local news. And she's like, "Son of a bitch, I got to have some of that. Look at that guy." Wait, but you weren't even on last night.
No, it was she emailed yesterday, so she was probably watching the night before on Tuesday when I was working, I would assume.
I'm at a loss. Paulie, do you have anything to add?
I need her name.
I need to look her up now. I
I'm
have
speechless.
to find her.
I am absolutely speechless right now.
That I handled it professionally.
I thought you did. Yeah. Just please don't send her your dong.
I know.
All right. I'm begging you. Don't need that kind of scandal out there. Your penis all around the internet. Anyway, thanks for thinking I'm attractive. Here it is. But based on some of the messages that I see on Twitter from many, many women out there, it's an epidemic. And we've asked that question before on what, like, people that do that, like men, and maybe some of you are listening right now, and you say, I'm just going to send this thing out. And has it ever worked? Some girl goes, "Oh, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to see, unsolicited." And
well, let me ask you this, because Jury Duty Jeff, which is his new name, if you're a dude and you want to make a woman's day, just go up to them randomly, not creepy, and just say, "Just wanted to let you know you're really pretty," then walk away.
That's creepy, I think.
I think that's going to come off as creepy most of the time.
I don't know that you can do that anymore.
Don't think you can just go up and comment on a woman's appearance, even positively.
I mean, I think
without seeming like a creep.
These days, man, yeah. These days you can't. Back in my day, you could. You absolutely could walk up to somebody and say, "I don't mean to bother you. You are absolutely stunning."
How different is that from a nice little whistle, though?
Oh, that's way different. Nobody whistles at people.
Exactly, because it's crass and it's rude.
Crash says maybe it was Kim Jong-un.
It's not. No.
You don't know this.
Is he dead? Or is he alive?
I think he's still alive.
Kim Jong-un is in town and wants to take you out for coffee. Yeah, I don't know. I obviously haven't been in the dating world in a long time. But the pickup line, I just don't think you can do it anymore. I feel like every woman is so on guard for good reason.
Damn good reason.
And I feel like a pickup line from a man is like automatically deemed creepy these days, right? I told you the one I used in college once that worked. I told a girl, and this worked. I said, I would like introduce myself. I said, I'd love to cook for you sometime. And boom, I couldn't cook a lick, dude. I could not cook a lick, but she bought it. So that one worked. But I've done the like, oh my gosh, you are so beautiful. And then kind of the walk away is key. You don't want to say you're so beautiful, and then you stand there and stare at her. But yeah, women have it tough now, dude. I mean, because they will open their DMs on a Wednesday morning, be like, "Oh, hey, make my coffee." You don't really my DMs. It's just hard.
You don't want to really buy him a drink unsolicited,
bro. No, because they think you're slipping them a Mickey Finn.
Right. Even if it comes straight from the bartender, you're going to worry about that.
I'm telling you. I mean, I've some of the girls that some people I know, like we follow on Twitter, are like, oh, look at this. This was in my DMs last night. Some guy standing in front of a mirror, like very strange.
Maybe I should feel offended by this email. Am I just an object for your ogling on television?
So there is the inherent difference in men and women. And when you get a compliment from a woman, you don't feel like used. You're like, oh my God, I'm on top of the world. This is great. You get a glance from a woman somewhere, you're like, hey, how you doing? I see you looking over here. But so rare. It's just I couldn't tell you the last time I had a compliment from a woman.
Reading this was a couple of weeks ago. I was reading this thread on Reddit.
Yeah.
And it was like things men want women to know about them or something.
Things men want women to know about them.
And I think it was actually written from the female perspective. Okay. And it was one of the comments was, men just really love compliments. They don't get a lot of compliments.
It's so true.
And they love it. And the sub comments on that were unreal. People were like, I told my husband I loved this new shirt that he bought. He bought 8 more like it.
Bro, it's so true.
It's all he wore. Like
I walked in a couple of weeks ago. I think I was going to a Seals game or something, but I had like nice pants on, nice black shirt. And I walked out. My hair was perfect. Beard was trimmed. And I walked out for the game, had good cologne on, and Hannah goes, oh, gosh, you look so handsome. I was like, what? Really? Do we have time? It just happens so much more rare to men than women. Women get it all the time. And it's not a good thing. You know what I'm saying? It's not a good thing. We've really lost our way on how to maybe approach and attract women. But, that is
what does it say about how psychologically crippled we all are, though? That
men?
We respond that enthusiastically to just the tiniest of compliments.
Well, it's like Eddie Murphy said. You're in the desert. You haven't eaten for a while, and somebody hands you a cracker. It's the best cracker you've ever had. Is that a Ritz? That's not a saltine. That's got to be a Ritz. I mean, when you're starving and for attention or affection or a compliment, and you get one. It's cloud 9, dude. I mean, you go nuts.
And we're pretty lucky. We've got the tier 1s. You guys
Thank God for the tier 1s.
Complimentary out there. We get more than our fair share.
I'd be in the gutter. I'd be in the gutter without the compliments of the tier 1. So that is a fascinating story, Benjamin, and we will, of course, delve into it when we go to commercial break right now. Wow.
Oh, let's see.
Tell me about prize picks.
We definitely have some interesting things coming up on the show today, including early congratulations to the San Diego State women's basketball team. They're going to the NCAA tournament with a triple overtime win. Priscilla was on the call, and Paulie has gotten that audio for you. But the funny thing is he lost his voice when he got to triple overtime. He was hanging on by a thread.
That'll do it.
By the end of the game. It was
triple
a long
OT,
one.
man.
Triple OT for the championship game against Wyoming last night. Pretty exciting, dramatic game, and we'll have the call for you coming up from our colleague Chris Ella, who was not gone to the NCAA tournament with the NCAA women in
CBS
13
Sports
years.
Network.
Yeah, it was on CBS Sports last night.
Good for them.
Same where the Aztecs will be on this afternoon against Boise State, the men. Same floor and everything. So congratulations to the SDSU women, Coach Stacy Terry. First trip to the NCAA tournament since 2012, I think it is.
Wow.
With their win over Wyoming last night. All right, we got a good show today. I will start, though, by telling you about Prize Picks. It's the place that I go for daily fantasy sports, especially this time of year, just talking about college hoops. You can find so many different lineups to set right now, especially with games all morning. You're on those days where conference tournaments are playing like quadruple headers today. So you can set lineups in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, go between 2 and 6 players. The more you put in your lineup, the more real money you can win just by picking more or less on stat projections for the day. Put basketball together, pro and college. You can start putting baseball in as well, cross sports, hockey, whatever you like, whatever you're watching. Settle up Prize Picks lineup and win real cash. And when you download the app, go to prizepicks.com, use the code KWFN. You're going to get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. That's code KWFN. Make sure you do that because you get $50 instantly. Again, you don't even have to win. Just play $5. Then you got $50 in your account to have a bunch of fun with. You can set 10 $5 lineups, play all weekend long on Prize Picks. Run your game. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for details. Check traffic with Kelly out there. It is very gnarly. Be very careful on the roadways. And we'll be back with Ben Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
because she texted me and said that there's a scam going around, Ben, where you get lured to potentially a hotel room, and you get shot up with fentanyl, and then you get robbed and left in a hotel room. Which, I mean,
You don't want that.
be a great story. Coming up tomorrow, 7:30. We got to tell you. You won't believe
Hannah,
this.
is it that unlikely that I get a compliment like that? That it must be.
It's got to be a
must be some
prostitute with fentanyl. It's got to be.
Scam. It's just so unrealistic that someone might actually watch me on television and think, wow, that's a handsome sportscaster.
Oh man.
That a much more realistic
that it's a prostitute
idea
with
is
fentanyl looking to murder you and rob you. Oh, bro, I'm married to that. Are you kidding? I will often say we'll be out together, and I'll go, oh.
I mean, I agree with you, Hannah. I do. It's probably more realistic, your scenario. But
I'll watch out. I'll be walking with Hannah, and I'll do the bit where I'm like, hey, like what you see, huh? Like to some cougar walking through the store, and she will elbow me so hard. She's like, nobody has any interest in you. Don't worry. But she keeps me very humble. Very, very, very humble. I would be willing to go with you just to make sure you don't get robbed and shot up with fentanyl. My sweet angel.
how are you going to prevent it? Are you in the room with me?
Sure, I come in the room with you if you want.
Visited her.
Yeah, there's an extra chair in there, and just
Hi,
sit.
this is my
Paulie. Do you want to come?
This is my chaperone and coworker, Woods.
Here's our producer, Paulie. He's going to be doing some TikTok. Don't worry about him. Just kind of forget he's here. I am dead. I am absolutely dead. This has been my favorite 26 minutes of the Ben and Woods. We are on a heater right now. We got to keep it rolling. It's incredible.
We should be able to continue the heater this morning. If you weren't with us yesterday, we unveiled the field for the 6th annual Tournament of Drops, and we will have our first matchups of the day, first half of the first round for you guys to vote on and push together the first 8 teams into the second round. Paulie, if you would, though, why don't we, for anyone who missed it, once again play our field for the Tournament of Drops.
You got a problem.
Ganja, a.k.a. cannabis.
I love Paul Skeens.
Hot beef.
Thank you, John.
Even believe it.
Dylan Thief.
You're a crumb creep.
Oh, God. Oh, yes.
Oh, there he is.
The Padres have slayed the dragon again.
What's up, my dude? How you doing?
We'll give it 16 minutes of sulk, and then we'll, get back on the pump and figure it out.
I hate Christmas.
Bootylicious. Girls. 1, 2, swallow.
Bring gas.
Oh. Put your pants back on.
I am not okay.
Makes you pee, huh?
3, 2, 1. Catching up Padres pitcher Michael King.
Treat yourself a round of sausage.
Raw dogging the Scissor Sisters.
Duval.
Put some money into the kitty.
Little Alcu, shake that butt.
Oh, God.
So there's your field, and we will have our first matchups for you coming up at 7:35 this morning in the Tournament of Drops.
Paulie and I could go be in the next room, and the code word could be hot beef if you get in trouble.
Hot beef.
Yeah,
Hot beef. Hot
This
beef.
is the needle in your neck.
Hot beef. Hot beef.
Paulie, he's in trouble. Can't you hear him?
Hot beef.
Paulie, go.
Hot beef.
Kick the door.
Hot beef.
Kick the
Hot
door.
beef.
Oh, God. Oh, it hurts. All right, hot beef should always be our code word if we're in
Hot
trouble.
beef.
Like, if we're
That's what it really was. It
So
was
was.
No more
beef.
blink
Hot beef.
twice.
no more blink twice if you're okay. Just say hot beef. Hot beef. If we're in a conversation we need help getting out of, we just say hot beef. Hot beef.
I've got a problem.
I've got a problem.
I've got a problem.
I've got a problem.
You got a problem.
Yeah, I do have a problem. I was just stabbed with a needle full of fentanyl and robbed by a prostitute in a hotel room. Hacksaw. All right, so
I'm still a little bit under the weather, and this is too much laughter.
it's killing me right now. The hot beef on repeat. He's scared. Hot beef, hot beef, hot beef. How do they vote, Paulie, and when can they vote?
We will post links on our
Oh, it
YouTube
hurts.
chat, on X, and our Instagram story. It's going to be a Google form.
Okay.
And that'll take you right to the poll. Submit your. We're going to do the first two side or the first left side of the bracket,
Left side of the
top
bracket.
and bottom. So what is that? 8 matchups total today.
Correct.
We'll
Perfect.
do 8 more tomorrow, and then we'll start whittling it down.
Get
Well,
down
yeah,
to
I mean-
the Sweet 16 next week.
Look, we're going to drag this thing out as long as we can, just so you guys are aware.
You're lucky we're not
That's-
doing one matchup a day for 16
for
days.
16 days. Yeah, you're lucky you get a full bracket, the half bracket you can fill out today. All right, so relax.
In addition to the tournament of drops, we'll talk about the new Padres owner officially taking over as control person. John Seidler had some comments from him in the UT yesterday. Talked about the Padres, Rockies, spring training. A lot of fringe guys who are battling for roster spots in action yesterday. It wasn't exactly a stellar performance by the Padres, but definitely some things we can take away from that. And, of course, college basketball, in addition to the women Aztecs, the men getting underway in a pretty important game today against Boise State this afternoon at 2:30 could determine which of those two teams makes it to the NCAA tournament, depending on how things shake out. So consider this single elimination if you're wise. Go into this game like it's win or else for both
Hot
teams.
beef!
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hot beef time
It's hot beef time.
for the Aztecs. So we can talk about that as well. Spring training. Sammy will join us in our second half of the program from Peoria, Arizona, plus all of our regular features as well, including a Real or Fake on a Throwback Thursday. Looking forward to it. We'll get into the Padres, what we now know about John Seidler, the new control person of the team, and more. That is coming up next on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Let me talk to all of you out there that woke up this morning. The rain, this weather, I mean, if you have bad joints, it makes it worse. I kind of, for years, I could feel when the rain was coming. I know a lot of people out there feel it in their knees, their hips, their shoulders. Listen, I went to QC Kinetics. They fixed me up. I had such painful wrists, and they've got me back to doing all the things I love to do. And some of the things I don't like to do. I don't really like working out all the time, but I know it's necessary. I'm lifting heavier than I ever have in my entire life. That's thanks to QC Kinetics. It's just been great. So if you're feeling the pain, can't walk, can't golf, can't jog, do all the things that you love, call them. Just call them today. You'll get a free consultation. You don't have to sign up. You don't have to get the treatments. Get in there and find out about these latest advances in regenerative medicine. A lot of athletes do this. Huge in like the MMA world. They said they get a lot of those guys in there. And I mean, who gets banged up more than those dudes? So call QC Kinetics in Torrey Hills and Hillcrest for your free consultation today at 619-614-PAIN, 619-614-PAIN, or go to QCkinetics.com. But I would call 619-614-PAIN. Get that free consultation. Let them know that your old pal Woodsy from 97.3 The Fan sent you, please. Shout out to our pal Monty. He's driving the entire family right now out to Peoria for spring training, right? And he said he's good. They're already to Yuma.
Okay, good, because you're going to say you're going to bring your chains if you're driving to Yuma or to Peoria today.
Yeah, he said, I'm making the family road trip out to Peoria, praying for decent weather. Any chance I can get a shout out to my smoking hot wife, Sam? And he had sent me a picture before. He ain't wrong. Sam is an attractive lady. And their kiddos, Ellie and Stetson. Ellie and Stetson, I'm sorry I just hit on your mom in front of your dad live on the radio. Sorry about that.
But as we just learned, everyone enjoys a good compliment.
That's true. I was just reading what he said. So, yeah, she's pretty hot.
And
have a great, safe trip
and have fun.
Have so much fun out there.
Out in Arizona. Hopefully you'll get to see the Padres play a little better baseball than they've played most of spring training. It's definitely, I mean, they've got the worst record in the Cactus League.
Maybe they need Sam there to play a little bit.
Which, again,
I thought it was fitting that you gave the shout out, not Mr. Steal Your Girl.
That's true. That's absolutely true.
I can't stress enough how unimportant the Cactus League record is, but there are some, I would say, concerns. No?
I was mad.
Well, you were mad?
I was mad.
I mean, they didn't take any of their big-time players.
I know. It's looking across.
Our small-time players should be able to beat the Rockies.
That's what I'm saying. I was mad. I watched. I also bet on the.
That's on you.
That's an idiot.
That's on you.
Just an absolute.
You did not.
I did. Padres were underdogs yesterday.
Oh, you also owe me $10.
Oh, I do owe you $10. That's true. Because
Gavin Sheets did not hit a home run for a fifth straight day. Did go 1 for 3 with an RBI. And he's continuing his push to make the team. There were some positive. Jose Iglesias went 2 for 3 with a double.
Nice play.
I saw that real nice play.
Slick, dude.
At second base. Very, very solid looking defender. Had some good relief work from Jeremiah Estrada. Ron Marinaccio bounced back from a rougher outing with a really good scoreless outing as well.
The first time I've really seen him throw, I think I really like that dude.
But I think the legitimate concerns, even outside of the final score, which isn't important, Robert Suarez continues to struggle, and I get it. He's an established closer. To work on what he wants. The numbers don't mean anything in spring training, but I don't know how many times you can go out for a third of an inning, give up 4 runs before even, Mike Shilton, Ruben Niebla start to get a little bit concerned. Are you going to be nervous? Day 1 of the season, Padres are ahead of the Braves 5-4 going into the top of the 9th inning. And here comes Robert Suarez out after what's been a really shoddy, shaky spring for him to try to close out that first game of the season.
I'm not super concerned about it. I'm not. Closers are closers for a reason. Also, I'm pretty damn nervous with a 1-run lead if anybody's in.
Obviously,
but
yes.
I can't look at it and go, oh, I'm going to base it on your crappy spring training, Robert. I don't know. I don't think so.
I think the leash has to be pretty short, though, considering how many other guys you have that could very legitimately close on the big leagues.
You don't want to give away early ones with poor closer play. But
I'm not saying it's one and done. If he has a bad outing, you pull him. He's an all-star.
It's volatile, man.
But I do think you have to be watching him very closely in April.
So think about this too. We all agree that the adrenaline of pitching in the second inning of a third inning of a spring training game against the Rockies is not the same as running
and
out.
And also the pressure for the other team, which is what I think makes closers so nasty. Is when the other team knows this is it. This is our last chance.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally different situation.
Totally different. And you're running out and there's 45,000 fans screaming your name and you got your intro. It's different.
The lights go down. Yeah,
I'll be worried about Robert Suarez when he pitches like this in the regular season, and I'm going to tell you guys something. He will at some point. He will pitch like this at some point.
They all Trevor Hoffman did.
Emmanuel Clase last year was one of the most unhittable closers in baseball. He got to the postseason and couldn't get an out and was giving up home runs every game. It's a weird, dumb role. It's very difficult. That's why, very few can do that. Robert has shown enough to me, I know he can be a closer at this level. I have no concerns about that. So I'm not going to worry about that at all. It's a completely different role he was playing yesterday. He's getting work in. So I'm not really going to get my panties in a bunch about it.
The other rough outing yesterday. Maybe you heard me saying nice things about him on the radio. Was Wandy Peralta.
Yeah, Wandy Peralta.
Who also gave up 4 runs after I had hailed him for having a very solid spring. So I'm sorry, Wandy. I'll wear that one. For
Bennewood's curse is legit. I mean, it's absolutely
for sure.
legit.
But like we said, the results don't truly matter in spring training. Then again, you would like to see. The other thing I'm concerned about, another offer from the catchers. I mean, it's daily. It's daily. I think it was Campy this time. No one's getting any hits from behind the plate. You're basically going to have a black hole of offense in your lineup, no matter who is starting behind the plate. So obviously, you go with the best defender. It's going to be Elias Diaz, I think, is going to be your opening day starter. Is that second job go to Campy or Martin Maldonado or Brett Sullivan? I don't know, but none of the options are particularly exciting for the San Diego Padres.
And this is not at all a knock on our skipper, Mike Schilt, not even a little bit, but it did make me nervous when I read his quotes about Martin Maldonado. Martin Maldonado, we said it when they signed him, he is legitimately one of the worst offensive players in the history of baseball. I mean, with enough ABs, he's not a good offensive player. But when I heard Schilte in there putting him not on the same boat with Yadier Molina, but he's right next to him. I mean, he's like, look, nobody gets the Yachty treatment. He goes, but the one guy I've talked to that's even remotely in the same ballpark is Martin Maldonado. When you are a skipper, I think the trust in your catchers is got to be through the roof. I'll tell you this right now, if he doesn't trust Camposano, Ben, don't put him on the roster.
They don't.
Yeah,
they like Campy, but I don't feel like they have a great deal of faith in what he can do behind the plate.
Well, then it has to be Maldonado. Like what you can't do, because Campy's not great defensively and he's not great offensively. Martin is okay defensively, at least in the eyes of the skipper right now, what he provides to the staff. I'm fine giving him that role until you can find something else.
I agree. And the great thing about having no options at catching is that when you pick Martin Maldonado, just for his intangibles, essentially.
And his defense.
Yeah, defense and intangibles. You're not giving up a ton because the other options aren't that much better.
Right. It's not like, man, Campy's slugging it so right. well, but we can't
give up these intangibles from. Yeah, if you had a catcher who was hitting 280 with 18 home runs, Martin Maldonado would have no chance to make this team. Correct. Because they have so little options. He actually does have a chance to make the team, and if he can impact them positively with something other than his play in the batter's box, that's better than nothing, I guess. At this point, it's just it's a sorry state of where the Padres catching is at the moment.
Yeah, and again, it's spring training, but again, there's track record with Martin Maldonado of not being a good offensive performer. Campy's got to find a way out of that hole, whatever it is that he's in. Hasn't been good. So yeah, we'll see. It's a spot that makes me nervous. I did see Higgy hit his 3rd homer of the spring yesterday or the day before. So that's going to sting a little bit. But yeah, I mean, there were some good things yesterday, but there were some really, really not good things yesterday.
Padres have officially a new control person.
Correct.
There's a Shakespeare quote about having greatness thrust upon you, because it seems clear this is not a job he was looking for, but it's one he has now. What have we learned about John Seidler in the past 24 hours? We'll get to that after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by local and veteran-owned Kearney Mesa Volkswagen. Good placement on that one, guys, because I have a feeling after today, a lot of folks are going to be shopping for new cars. It is crazy busy out there, guys. We've already had over 50 accidents. Can't mention them all. I'm going to just touch on a few here. Southbound 15 with the East 8 transition, crash blocking the left lane. Also, southbound 805 before La Jolla Village Drive. Spin out in middle lanes. Going to find on westbound 8 at Waring, crash in the center divide. Also, West 52 before the 15, a spin out over the right shoulder. East 52, Santo Road, vehicle went up the right shoulder embankment. Also got a crash on southbound 67 at Bradley. Vehicle hit the right shoulder guardrail, may have even knocked a fence down in the process. Lots more where that came from. Come on, don't make me preach. You know what to do. Give yourself plenty of extra time. And try to stay in those middle lanes. Less ponding, less chance of hydroplaning. Good luck. San Diego, take it to the paint with Kearney Mesa Volkswagen and the all-new 2025 Volkswagen Tiguan S for just $293 a month. Spacious, bold, and German-engineered to conquer every San Diego adventure. Wow. Visit KearneyMesaVolkswagen.com for more details. I'm Kelly Danik with Better Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Save that, Paulie.
Kelly out-talked her music bed today. That's how much traffic we've got out there. So after a long offseason of ownership drama for the San Diego Padres, a lawsuit that remains very much in the early stages, the battle in the media, then the approval of John Seidler by Major League Baseball as the new control person about a month ago, when they said it won't become official until about 30 days in, when he becomes the trustee of the Peter Seidler Trust. Well, that happened yesterday, and the Padres now officially have a new chairman and control person in John Seidler, the eldest brother of Peter Seidler, who is in Peoria and gave an interview to Kevin Acee of the San Diego Union-Tribune. Just to throw it out there, we have also requested a chance to speak with John Seidler. They're going to roll him out, I guess, a little bit slowly. I would think we'll get an opportunity at some point, but for now, we'll have to rely on what he told the UT in his first comments, really at all, in his new role as chairman of the San Diego Padres.
Yeah, I mean, I would obviously love to have the first crack at John Seidler, but you know, when you read his quotes, you go, "Oh, well, does he want to talk about being, you know, the control person?" And he said, I mean, it's kind of right off the bat, he said, "It's true. This isn't a role that I aspired to. Peter, when he was in the role, did an amazing job, was loved by the fans. I mean, I think you could look at every professional sport, every country, probably not find an owner that was loved by the fans the way Peter was. You find a lot of respect. You find people that appreciate. Love is a step beyond that. Peter had a unique personality and had a way of just executing his life, of interacting with people. He was a natural for it. He deserved it. He earned it. But in terms of stepping into the role, Eric Xander, you know, he goes on and on to essentially say, this isn't necessarily something that I wanted, but I feel that I'm kind of up to the challenge." Look, all we can do is take him at his word right now, but it's going to, you know, as with every owner, actions will always speak louder than words. I think that's a fair assessment.
He seemed very honest,
yeah, very
in his comments, and I understand. Would you want to have to fill the shoes of Peter Seidler?
No.
That is a tough act to follow for anybody, you know, in what he said in terms of Peter being absolutely beloved by Padres fans. That is rare in ownership in professional sports. There are way more owners who are hated than ones that are loved, you know, by a wide margin. So he knows he's stepping into a tough spot here. He knows, you know, his other two brothers both passed on the opportunity to do this, and it's basically been thrust upon him. He admitted he's a very private person. He would rather just kind of spend time with his family, but this is the role that he's got, and he's going to do the best that he can as the control person of the Padres.
So as a Padres fan, how do you feel about that? Right? Is it, we'll just talk through our feelings. Like, is it disappointing that he's not more gung-ho, like, yes, Peter's gone, but this thing is not going to die. We are going to keep grinding. It was more like, hey, I don't even really like public scrutiny or talking to people or anything like that. I didn't really want this gig. I'm not trying to be a jerk and poke holes
that
in
could
it.
Change.
It could.
Well, I think that's what you want in an owner. I mean, I think the best owners tend to be the ones who are more hands-off with their team. The meddlers are the owners you don't want to get.
But like, okay, do you feel that there's a difference in between meddling, which we know what meddling looks like, right? Jerry Jones is a meddler, right? Or is there...
He's the actual GM, so, I mean, I don't know, it's Jerry Jones.
Yeah, owner GM. Yeah, he made himself GM. If John Seidler... We would hate it today if John Seidler came in, fired AJ Preller,
I'm taking over.
Yeah, that would suck, right? But is there anything that gives you a little bit of pause, you know, when he's like, yeah, I didn't really want this gig, but I was kind of fourth in line and took it. Does it give you any pause? Does it make you nervous? 65 years old, do you think he's committed to this long term? Because when I read it, Yeah, of course. It's like, it's really sweet. And you got to remember, this guy lost his brother. Like, that's a big deal. So obviously sympathy for that. But did you want him to be a little bit more like gung ho?
No,
or are you
know
good
what?
with it?
An owner doesn't have to be gung ho and out front.
And really, few of them are.
He said the three things he needed to say.
Like Peter was 1 in a million
He was.
in that
he was.
regard.
Yeah, he said the first priority, it's the product on the field. Our goal is to field playoff caliber, World Series championship caliber teams each and every year.
Great answer.
Think we have a good handle on that. AJ's doing a great job. Secondly, the experience in the stadium. You tend to keep delivering the best fan experience in professional sports. They're the best fans in baseball. The fans deserve it. Players feed off of it. And third, community. The Padres, we're going to continue to do our best to make a positive impact in the community. Talks about how they've jumped up like tenfold in their donations to the community in recent years. The three main things, the Padres have done well in recent years, he intends to continue doing. In our chat, Marcus says, stop burying the lead. He's a Dodger lover. Absolutely. He grew up
He did.
for 50
He was.
years,
Yep.
was a Dodgers fan.
He said it.
As was Peter Seidler. Peter Seidler was a huge Dodgers fan growing up, and when he bought the Padres, he gave it all up and became a Dodger hater. And John admitted, like, at least in the first couple of months, it was hard to just flip the switch
And
on 50 years.
Scream beat
when
LA.
he became a minority owner with the Padres and do that. But he says he is all in now. He is a full card-carrying, beat LA Padres fan. If Peter Seidler can do it, I would think John Seidler can do it as well. So I'm not concerned about his Dodger loving past, because Peter Seidler had the exact same past as John Seidler. And absolutely, we all have 100% certainty that Peter was through and through bled brown and gold for the San Diego Padres.
Yeah, for sure. And that was really the first question I wanted to ask him as well. But yeah, it's a nice story. But yeah, like you said, he addressed, the product on the field. Look, and again, with any owner, until there's action, it's words right now. Like people were tweeting yesterday, okay, nice to get to know this guy a little bit. Extend Jackson Merrill and we'll know you're for real, right? Extend Michael King and we'll know you're for real. There's validity to that. That's a valid point to make. Because until something like that happens, Benny, yeah, okay, you're committed to bringing a World Series championship. I have heard a lot of owners say that.
Watch closely, watch his actions.
Correct.
But there's no reason at this point to be skeptical at the moment.
Not yet, not today.
Just keep watching and see what they do under John Seidler's stewardship. All right, we'll take a timeout. San Diego State is headed to the NCAA tournament on the women's side. Talk about that and more next on The Fan. Let's say for the first, I don't know, 30 years of my life, there's probably 3 NCAA basketball tournament games that I had to watch for San Diego teams. I think San Diego State made it in the 80s once, and USD had a couple of trips to the dance, and that was about it. Now, there's a possibility that we could have like 4 straight days with NCAA tournament games next week.
I like it.
If picture this. San Diego State gets in as one of the first 4, and they play like Wednesday in Dayton, and then UCSD plays Thursday in the first round, and then San Diego State wins and plays Friday, and then San Diego State women play their first round game on Saturday.
I would prefer
theoretically
less consecutive days.
Correct.
In the Aztecs men's team not.
I
being
agree
in the
that.
first 4.
I agree.
Yeah,
You could also have 3 games on the same day.
Yeah.
With different teams that are in for college basketball. First, I think we got to, again, congratulate the SDSU women. They were not expected to get there. They were the 4th seed in the Mountain West tournament, but they upset number 1 UNLV in the semifinals 2 nights ago, and then last night played the 2nd seed Wyoming, a team that had beaten them twice in the regular season for the title. And it was a close game. I watched the whole thing. It was back and forth, lead changes all throughout. It was pretty much tied at the end of the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and then fourth quarter, and they went to overtime. San Diego State jumped out to like a 5-point lead in overtime. Looked like they had it. Wyoming came back, tied it up, forced double overtime. Same thing happened in double overtime. San Diego State took the lead. Wyoming came back in the final minute, tied it up again. SDSU missed an in and out at the buzzer that would have won it, so they went to triple overtime.
Come on.
Where finally San Diego State was able to, and they played really good defense, just kept them off the scoreboard enough where they had, I think, a 4-point lead in the last seconds, and it was our colleague Chris Ello who was on the call courtside at the Thomas and Mack Center with 2 seconds left. San Diego State with the ball and ready to punch their ticket for the NCAA tournament.
To Villalobos, back to Sheffy. It's over! Somehow, some way, unbelievably, they have climbed the mountaintop. Final score in triple overtime. Wow. 72-68. The Aztecs win it. They are, as you might imagine, going a little crazy out there.
Whoa. The lozenge.
Chris later tweeted out, he said, thanks to the Aztecs women's basketball team, 3 overtimes cost me my voice, but I got me my piece of the net. They had Chris up on the ladder,
dude. I love
cutting
that.
a little bit of the net. He has been calling those games for a long time. And it's been 13 years since they've gone to the NCAA tournament.
That's a long time to be on that grind, doing that gig. Getting a piece of the net is badass. Man.
That's pretty cool.
It is badass.
That's a picture.
It's over!
That's what did it.
Voice was shot, though.
Yep.
Voice was completely shot. So now San Diego State will wait until Selection Monday, I believe, for the women to find out where they are headed in the first round of the NCAA tournament. I looked at some of the women's bracketology at kind of a 12-13 seeds. So, I mean, they'll be big underdogs in whatever game that they get sent to. But this is a fantastic thing just to get into the tournament.
Yeah, that's one of those things where really nobody expected it, Ben, and you had to beat a couple of really, really good teams. Now, you hope that the same doesn't hold true. As you said, Wyoming had beaten the Lady Aztecs twice, and they come in. Aztecs take them to triple overtime. You hope the same isn't true today, as the men's team has beaten Boise State twice, and Boise State is fighting for their lives. And you, as an Aztec fan today, if you lose, you're going to be on pins and needles. You are on pins and needles. But Boise State, if we don't win, we're done. Our season is over. So, man, it has built a lot of drama for this.
Yeah, it's a 2:30 tip-off in the quarterfinals of the Mountain West tournament. And yesterday, Paulie and I didn't know what the line was, and I was speculating. Well, San Diego State had beaten them twice.
Yeah.
By a combined, I think, like 19 points, both road and home. So I thought I said San Diego State by 4.5. Actual line?
Let me just double check.
Double check it for accuracy. We'd love to be
it's
accurate.
Moved a lot because I was watching last night before I went to bed. It was San Diego State were underdogs -1,
plus 1.5. Yeah, plus one. Yeah, Boise was the favorite.
Some books had them as a pick 'em. Now, this morning, I'm looking, and Boise State is now favored by 2.5. It
Whoa.
moved the opposite direction.
So a ton of money coming in on Boise State for this game.
Not
Now, is that because of Magoon Guath's injury, uncertainty of whether he's going to play? He was a key. Both of those games. Boise State is a kind of team that likes to drive, into the paint, and Magoon took it away from them. Like 6 block shots, kept him off, and if they don't have him, that could change the complexion of the game against Boise State.
They know something we don't know? Do they know something that
I always wonder if gamblers do know something we don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you never know.
But
right?
Brian Dutcher has not made any call one way or another whether Magoon Guath is going to play. Was out there with a brace on, but was taking part in some of the warm-ups and drills yesterday when San Diego State was getting ready for the game. But, yeah, no word. My guess is he will suit up. Will he actually play? Will he play significant minutes? That remains to be seen this afternoon of whether he's going to be in there. Now, they can win without him. They've won a few games, some games without him. They have other. Jared Coleman-Jones can block shots. Miles Bird's a great defender.
100%.
Not tall like Magoon, but he can block shots as well. So they certainly have the skills to win this game. But if I'm Boise State, I'm hoping Magoon is not there and Magoon for this game because he was a real problem in the first 2 meetings.
Scale of 1 to 10, how fired up are you for this game?
I'm mostly nervous.
Yeah.
Like fired up this feels like a game where only bad things can happen. Like if they win, it's like, okay, great. That's what everyone kind of expected. And now you move on. But to me, I don't want the committee to have any last minute excuse to keep San Diego State out of the tournament.
Yeah. And this
could be, if they lose, this is the last impression.
The last taste.
They're in those conference rooms now, whatever their hotel is in Indianapolis or wherever they do it. They probably have the bracket mostly filled at this point, and now it's about tweaking it at the bottoms and the seedings a little bit, but they mostly probably have it filled at this point.
How much would you love to be a part of that?
I would be.
They
actually have like media sessions where you do a mock tournament and get together, and I've always wanted to be invited to one of those.
You have to get invited?
I believe so. To the official one.
The official one. God, how do you get in there? I want that for you.
I don't know.
Because it would be for me.
Now, to get in the real one, it's like athletic directors and conference commissioners, and they have like a 4-year term, and it rotates around. So they have different people. You're not allowed to be in the room when they discuss your team. You're like an athletic director from Stanford, and they're talking about Stanford. You have to leave the room. So you're not unduly influencing the committee about your team.
It would be like a 3-month jail sentence for me to have to go in there and hash it all out, right? I would zero desire to do it. None.
I picture they bring in a lot of sandwiches during the day.
So many sandwiches.
So many sandwiches.
The little brownie tray too, and the fruit platter. I mean, Ben's like, this is you guys don't understand. This is amazing. Like
we've had everybody good. All right, thanks for choosing the
so many sandwiches.
Iced coffee, please.
Yes,
thanks
sandwiches.
For choosing the Indianapolis Hilton.
I mean, holy cow. I'd like that for you someday. I think you'd be great at it, actually. You're a great
I'm very
singer.
fair.
You're very fair.
Very fair.
So fair.
I would have to leave the room to discuss San Diego State, though.
That's
it's
true.
The team that I want to see in the tournament.
That's true.
I'm terrified for today.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's mostly a terrifying
There's
game.
a bit of excitement for sure. It's tournament time. You always get excited for the conference tournament a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's always there's the hope, or not the hope, but there's the expectation that you have games next week.
Yes.
So like this isn't an end all be all weekend. It kind of feels like it is an end all be all.
And it doesn't, NIT doesn't count. I mean, it's NCAA or bust.
And it's not really an end all be all weekend. It's an end all be all game.
Yeah.
Today. I think if they win today, I think they're in, regardless of how they do tomorrow.
And maybe they're in even if they lose.
Maybe.
We just don't know. And I'm not going to enjoy Sunday. If they lose,
that's
today,
the only that at that point you just go, thank God for the human factor, where they look at the name San Diego State and they go, all right, this team was just in the championship 2 years ago. Like, we know Brian Dutcher is a solid coach. We remember Steve Fisher and all those teams that he led to the tournament. Like, we got to have San Diego State.
I would think so.
But
you have exciting players. You have Dutch. You've got legacy. You've got all of it, man. I think it should mean something, but you got to handle, your business. It's right in front of you, and that's a good thing, man. You win, you're probably in this thing.
If it makes you feel better, no one's had more success in the Mountain West tournament than San Diego State.
Sure.
They don't win it every year, but they do win their first game every year.
Let's
17 straight wins in the quarterfinals.
Oh God.
To get to the semis. So just keep that streak going, and you should be good. Now, The other thing you want to watch for are the other bubble teams around the country. Bid stealers and bubble teams. Yesterday, you had two bubble teams playing each other. Texas beat Vanderbilt. That could have knocked Vandy out. Now you want to cheer for Texas to lose to Texas A&M to have a bad final game. North Carolina on the bubble. They beat Notre Dame yesterday, but now they have a huge game against fellow bubble team Wake Forest. SMU was on the bubble. They lost. They're probably still on the bubble. Ohio State on the bubble, lost to Iowa. You're cheering for Oregon today over Indiana, another bubble team. And obviously Oregon is a team that San Diego State played, so that's good on the resume if Oregon does well. Baylor's probably in after they won yesterday. West Virginia lost. They're still on the bubble, might get in. You want to cheer for Marquette over Xavier today. Xavier's a bubble team that you don't want to see win and steal one of those last bids. So there's a lot of rooting interest in conference tournaments in various places today. If you're a San Diego State fan and want to maximize your chance of getting into the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I'm just watching one game. That's it.
Well, you don't have to watch all of them. I'm saying when the ticker
watch the
is
ticker.
going by, I'm giving you a couple of scores that you want to cheer for and against today in some of the other bubble teams. Because it's a big bubble this year.
Huge bubble.
The SEC is looking at possibly 11 or 12 teams.
Yeah,
just
means
more.
And you really, if they're going strictly on the net rankings, that's not good for San Diego State because they're still right around 50, which isn't. But if they're going on best wins, then San Diego State's golden. Right? I mean, beating Houston, they're going to be a 1 seed in the tournament. There's not many teams out there that has wins over 1 seeds, and the Aztecs have one. So it's all what is valued. Non-conference strength of schedule, Aztecs are great.
Huge,
one of the top 10 in the country. But, conference strength of schedule, not as good. I mean, what is going to be valued in that committee room is going to determine whether San Diego State is easily in from year or not in at all.
But one thing is going to be valued is a win today. You know that will be valued. So it's right there in your hand.
It just pisses me off. Like I was just saying, it changes from year to year. There's not a lot of consistency on what they value and what they prioritize because the conference changes every year and the teams change year to year.
It's also not an exact science. There is some gut and feel to it, as you've got to imagine. So we will. I feel good if they win today. I'd be shocked if they weren't in the NCAA tournament. So there's your rooting interest for today. All right, we'll take a timeout. When we come back, it's don't do this. Although we have a lot of good do this candidates for today, including I thought a sweet moment at the Portland Trailblazers game last night when they returned. I don't know if you remember this, but there was a 13-year-old who sang the national anthem many years ago.
Long time ago.
Couldn't get through it. They brought her back. It was a really sweet moment. We'll get to that and much more after a check of traffic with Kelly Danick. Don't go away. More Ben and Woods coming up on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. All right, we mentioned earlier that one of our tier ones included us in their will.
It's
their final wishes.
Insane.
They wanted for their executor to arrange a shout out to his family.
Yep.
I believe if you go to trustandwill.com and fill out your final wishes, you can actually, if I remember correctly, put specific requests like that in your documents. You can go to trustandwill.com, fill out your own document, save a ton of money, and have the peace of mind of knowing that when you're gone, your family can just pull out that document and they don't have to go through the hassle of having the state make all the decisions at the end.
Yeah, creating a will ensures that your wishes are followed. Now, creating a trust will keep your family out of probate court. You do not want them, after you pass away, fighting for your estate. And that's exactly what can happen. It can take 9 to 18 months to settle, a lot of money in fees, and just kind of a heartache and pain. So you don't want that. Definitely just go to trustandwill.com, just like we did, and use the code San Diego when you check out. You'll get 10% off, plus free shipping of your estate plan documents. Got them shipped to my house. They're in my drawer. Everybody knows where they are. If something happens to me, that's all you got to do.
Are you requesting a shout out to his family?
Oh yeah, I would hope so.
I would think so.
Yeah, I should go back and amend it and put it in.
You can do that too.
Yeah, you can do that too. Again, go to trustandwill.com. Use code San Diego, one word, when you check out. You'll get 10% off. Trustandwill.com.
Don't Do This is brought to you by Trust and Will. Don't leave your entire estate, house, kids, and life savings up to chance if and when you die. Do set up a trust or will online at trustandwill.com. This is a lot more affordable than you think. Visit trustandwill.com for more info. Forgot to mention, we have some SDFC tickets that we're going to give away later in the program. So stay tuned in our 9 o'clock hour for your chance to head down to Snapdragon Stadium this Saturday to see the SDFC take on the Columbus Crew in their 4th game in franchise history. Right now, though, Woodsy, get us started with DDT.
It's a tale as old as time, guys. Competitors looking for an edge to try to win a match, a game, whatever it may be. And this is a huge scandal in the world of ski jumping. We have some blatant crotch.
Seems like it would be hard to cheat in ski jumping. I mean, everyone goes down the same ramp.
Yep.
You just basically measure how far they jump. And that's it, right?
You would think so. But
is someone wearing like a rocket pack or something?
If you will stop talking,
Okay,
I will
sorry.
tell you the whole story, and then you can react.
Did they grow wings?
Yeah.
Did they drink some Red
They have
Bull?
one of those big fans on their back with a
How many were
parachute?
there?
Baby oil on the bottom of their skis? What was it, Woodsy?
Whoa,
Let me
whoa.
tell you both. It was crotch cheating.
Crotch cheating.
Crotch cheating. Officials were caught adding extra material to the crotch of jumping suits in an effort to make Norwegian athletes soar further in the air. What they did essentially is create a crotch sail, like a
Crotch
sail, modifying the pre-approved suits. So
Actually, has multiple benefits.
they got the suit. Yes, it does. Like, wow, look at that guy. World-class
A
athlete.
sail in
And-
there?
Yeah, what do you got? A sail in there? You're just happy to see me, buddy.
Quite the mast you have going to your sail. So how did they get caught?
The suits were found by officials, and the 2 gold medalists, Marius Lindvik and Johan Andre Forfang, have now been disqualified. The athletes claim they knew nothing of these adjustments, but they wore them anyway. And it has fallen squarely at the feet of head coach Magnus Brevig and equipment manager Adrian Levelton, both of whom have been fired and do admit that they made the crotch adjustments. Here's their quote. We regret it like dogs, and I'm terribly sorry that this happened. I don't really have anything else to say.
Like dog?
We regret it like dogs. That's not Norwegian.
My dog does not regret any of her misbehavior.
Absolutely.
At all.
Never. Dogs feel no regret whatsoever. I don't really have anything else to say other than we got carried away in our bubble. So, yeah, they manipulated the suits.
I mean, you see this in NASCAR a lot where the cars are all supposed to be identical, but they make some sort of illegal modification. So I guess this is like adjusting the suit illegally.
Yeah, it was a crotch sail. I don't know. The way I looked at it was, so I guess if you're going down this way, I thought it would slow you down to get the speed, but I guess if the wind's behind you, it can propel you with your crotch sail.
Is this worse than the guys who weighted their fish that they caught?
It's one of those.
It's kind of in that same.
It's in that same vein.
I will say, ski jumping is a absolutely insane.
It's the most insane thing of all time.
I mean, I don't want to ski like staying on the snow.
I'm very nervous. I'm going.
I mean, they're in
next
the air.
Weekend.
They're in the air for
like 10 seconds. Yes.
Like flying, like in the air.
I mean,
No parachute, nothing.
Well, they have a crotch sail.
Apparently.
Yeah. I'm very nervous. I'm going next week skiing for the first time in ages, Benjamin, and I am terrified.
All right, we actually have a double do-do this. Today.
DD mega doo-doo.
Unless I guess you're Tommy Barth, because he was the guy who ended the streak. He gets the don't do this, but everybody else, the Kansas Jayhawks, get the do this. They were playing a game. This was weird. They were playing at US Bank Stadium against the Minnesota Golden Gophers. This is the Viking Stadium. But they didn't they put a mound up there and they had home plate, but the whole rest of it was just the AstroTurf. So there was no infield cutouts. There was no dirt. There was no dirt even around the bases. It was just a base out on the grass. It looked weird, but apparently it's good hitters park because in the 3rd inning,
I'd say so.
Kansas came up and got hit a home run. Then the next guy hit a home run. And then the 3rd guy hit a home run. And then the 4th guy hit a home run. So
wow.
Here comes the 5th guy in a row. Grad student Jackson Hauge comes to the plate, and here's what it sounded like on KU radio.
Yep, the 2nd inning. And this is hit well to deep left. That is back, and that is gone.
5.
Wow. 5 straight home runs for the Kansas Jayhawks.
This
That may
is
be
almost
Minnesota radio.
video game-esque from the Jayhawks here. Rookie difficulty, 5 home runs in a row. You do not see this very often.
That is an understatement.
It's an understatement, buddy.
You've never seen it in Major League Baseball. Never happened. 5 home runs in a row. 4 has happened 11 times, including once by the Dodgers against the Padres.
I remember it well.
I do
Stanley.
too. But it has actually happened 3 times before in NCAA history. Centenary did it in 1992, Eastern Illinois in 1998, and South Carolina in 2006. But first time in 19 years that 5 consecutive home runs were hit by a college baseball
Is
team.
it the same pitcher?
I didn't see that in the story. I think it was only the 3rd inning, so I think it was all the same pitcher. Tough day for him.
That's a tough day. I've given up back to back, and that makes you feel like death. I can't imagine giving up 3 more after that. 3 more. Terrible.
All right, finally, and I thought this was a sweet story. I actually remembered the original.
Me too.
From 2003. Maybe you do. It was one of the earlier viral videos. Happened at a Portland Trailblazers game when they invited a 13-year-old in the playoffs, Natalie Gilbert, to come sing the national anthem. And she was out there and obviously got really nervous and started forgetting the words. And the coach then, Maurice Cheeks, stepped in, put his hand on his shoulder, they sang it together.
Yeah,
they
it was
got
awesome.
through it. It was really a sweet moment. So we've got some of the audio of that. And then yesterday, 22 years later, they invited her back to sing the national anthem again. Here's a little do this for you.
This is the old one.
We watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets
Sing along with Maurice Cheeks because she had already forgotten the words. And here's this one.
This is
Yeah, they had Maurice Cheeks there, and they had him on camera,
So
clapping
good.
along. She absolutely nailed it this time. 22
Crushed
years
it.
later. Pretty cool story. And I remember that viral moment. You just felt so bad for a 13-year-old in a full arena, and she's forgetting the words, and but then the coach comes in hey, you got this.
That's great.
And it was so sweet, and it was sweet to bring that up 22 years later.
That's a good idea, too, to bring her back. I thought that's a pretty good idea.
And that's Don't and Do This for a Thursday.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, it's the moment I know many of you have been waiting for. When we come back, the first 8 matchups in our 6th annual tournament of drops. We'll go through the head-to-head, talk a little bit about the drops, whether we can give our handicapping on each of them, but we're rarely right. So it's up to you, Tier 1s, at this point. It's out of our hands. You're going to select our 6th champion of the tournament of drops, and that starts when we come back with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
Can't wait. It's certainly not the only bracket and tournament you're going to be interested in. Put on your dancing shoes, pick up your phones. Time to make picks on March college basketball. With Underdog, you can bring that excitement to wherever you watch. Playing on their app is as easy as choosing higher or lower on player stats like points, assists, rebounds, and more. You get those picks right, you could win up to 1,000 times your money. Millions of fans have won billions on Underdog. Will you be next? Get in the game by signing up for Underdog using promo code WOODS to claim a gimme pick as part of your first cash entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus credits when you deposit. Cash in on every bucket this season with Underdog. Must be 18 and over, 19 and over in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 and over in Colorado for some games, 21 and over in Arizona and Massachusetts. Present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Void where prohibited. Terms do apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369.
The Los Angeles Dodgers have arrived in Japan for their opening games against the Chicago Cubs. Seeing my Twitter feed inundated with pictures of them in their matchy-matchy sweatsuits getting off the plane in Tokyo ahead of their 2 games against the Cubs early Tuesday and Wednesday morning here, American time for those games, just like the Padres last year in Korea.
Got to imagine those games are going to be bananas, right? With Yamamoto going game 1, Roki Sasaki going game 2, Shohei Ohtani there. I mean, just absolutely bananas.
I'm glad that the Padres aren't doing that.
Me too.
Padres, if you don't count these games, I saw a stat this week. The Padres will travel more than any other team in baseball. But if you do count these games, then the Dodgers travel more than any other team in baseball. Last year, I believe the Padres and Dodgers were also 1 and 2 in most travel in Major League Baseball over the course of the season.
I would like to be on a team with the least travel, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think the time zone thing works against you. It's always Padres, Mariners, Dodgers, and Angels and Marlins.
Yep.
Because they're the farthest away from teams. I mean, the Padres at least have the games against the Dodgers are kind of close. Seattle has nothing.
They have nothing close
to them.
What's their closest game? The Giants or Oakland?
No, Sacramento? Yeah.
Ooh, that's kind of a beating.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go, you're like, there's no easy trips.
And then Colorado after the Bay Area?
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Colorado's not that close to anyone either. They're a little more closer to the east, though, teams when they have to travel east, whereas the Padres, of course, have to fly to New York at least once. And now with interleague play, I mean, Philly, every other year you got Baltimore, you got Tampa Bay,
Philly this year,
100%. There's definitely a lot of travel that goes into the season for the Padres, but
nothing like this though.
Dodgers are in Japan, and I assume the Cubs are either there or
they're there,
arriving shortly.
They're there. I saw Justin Turner walking around in his kimono, and he looked very funny in it. And he had his Cubs hat on, walking around in his kimono. It looks awesome. I mean, the games are going to be great. I can't wait to see them.
Sure,
I'm excited about it.
All right, let's get Kelly's traffic. Obviously, it's a very busy day out on the roadways, and then we will get into the first 8 matchups in our tournament of drops coming up next here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by San Diego Football Club. Guys, is it too early for me to put a shot of Bailey's in my coffee? Maybe some Jameson? This is a miserable ride out here. We've got over 60 incidents and accidents on our wet roadways. Just pick a favorite.
We're going to jump in here. Kelly's got to get a new traffic going.
Oh, is that an old one?
That's about 20 minutes old.
Yeah, right. we don't need any old traffic. They're long this morning anyway, so we'll let Kelly update that, and we'll get back to it in just a couple of minutes. Let's get to it. Let's start unveiling our matchups in the first round of the tournament of Drop 6 Annual for Ben and Woods. And I think there's some interesting, there should be some blowouts, obviously. 1 versus 8 doesn't always work out that way. No, it does
not.
But I think there are some good matchups and some potential upsets in the first round. So we're going to go in the Bo Woods and the Juan Soto region for the first day for our first 8 matchups. And we'll begin with the number 1 seed on the left side of the bracket, the number 1 overall seed, Lee Hacksaw Hamilton.
You got a problem.
With his thoughts, I believe, on the San Diego Padres.
Yes, you got a problem.
From last year.
You got a problem.
From this year.
From the offseason, yes.
Yeah.
From this year.
You got a problem.
And it will be going up against the number 8 seed.
Shake that butt.
Ooh, Luke Bryan.
Now, I feel like Hacksaw is a heavy favorite.
I do too. I do too.
Not a bad drop, of course, for Luke Bryan.
No, and I don't want to sway anybody's
tough matchup
opinion there. Tough matchup.
All right, then the 4-5 matchup in that region. It's actually a Ben versus Ben matchup here, starting with me, Bootylicious.
Yes,
against the girls.
Your favorite.
I mean, toss a coin up.
Yeah, flip a coin. Yeah. I think I know. I know
one.
My preference. I don't want to say it.
You don't want to influence.
I don't want to influence anyone.
Okay. And then in the 6-3 matchup, we have the number 3 seed. That would be you, Woods.
Oh God. Oh yes.
Now what was that? What were you smelling?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't remember.
Probably just like, walking into a room, like a good aroma. And
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
but
God,
I heard that.
Freshly baked cookies or something.
Out of context,
home,
that's going to be funny.
And I think this is a tough one, going up against the 6th seed, our Wheel of Fortune idiots.
Treat yourself a round of sausage.
I may vote against myself. That is just delights me so much.
Treat yourself a round of sausage.
Yes.
Nope.
You know, the very common phrase, treat yourself a round of sausage.
Give yourself a round of applause.
Yeah, give yourself, or what was it? Treat
yourself. No.
Treat yourself a round of sausage.
Give yourself a round of
How do
applause.
you get treat
I
from
don't
give?
know. He really did not look
Not
carefully
enough-
at the
not enough
letters.
letters.
It did not even close.
So confident, too. Treat yourself a round
You can hear
of sausage.
It's almost like after he says treat yourself, he kind of like realizes
I'm dead.
Oh, that's not what I
Treat yourself a round of sausage.
Nope. That's not it.
And then in the bottom of that bracket, we have the number 2 seed.
You're a crumb creep.
Oh,
that is a strong 2 seed going up against me again, the 7 seed.
Strong 7 seed.
Raw dogging.
I don't think. I don't know. I mean, we'll let the tier 1s make the decision on that side of the bracket, and then our other 4 first-round matchups in the, I believe, Juan Soto region. The number 1 seed in that region again. Woods.
I love Paul Skeens.
I do.
And then
Pretty solid drop from last year.
And then the number 8 seed, Perry Farrell.
That isolated vocal
Sitting on the toilet.
just is not good.
Was he pulled off the stage moments after that? What was?
I think that was before the fight. I think
it was the same night.
Oh, was it the same night? That was a rough night for
Yeah,
Perry. Punched his guitar player. Yeah, it was tough.
Then we've got the 4 seed.
We'll give it 16 minutes of salt, and then we'll, get back on the bump and figure it out.
That was
Love
Pete
that.
Fairbanks after a rough outing in relief, and made it into our losing edition of the Padres recap every single day. And then that'll be going up
every single day.
Well, hopefully every single day they lost, but not every single day. And that'll go up against the 5 seed.
Bring Gas. Bring Gas is amazing. Amazing. Who was that? Anthony Edwards?
Anthony Edwards.
So good.
He was talking to Charles Barkley, I think,
Bring
on the
Gas.
set. And he's
Yeah.
like, I don't really go to Minnesota anymore, but you guys keep winning. You get the series back there.
Yeah.
I may have to
Bring
come by." He
Gas.
said,
Bring Gas. So good, dude. I love it. We need to play that more. I love that.
Then in the 3 seed at the bottom of that region, that would be Adam's mistake on the board.
The Padres have slayed the dragon again.
So that had been recorded in the hopes that the Padres were going to eliminate the Dodgers in either games 4 or game 5.
Not only recorded, put into the system to air.
Well, it was not supposed to be put into the system,
but it
There
was.
There were
and it
supposed
was
to be
aired.
not.
it
in
was
the
put
system.
into the system because I was going out of town that weekend.
Yes.
So I just made for all different scenarios.
Yep.
Like it was, I think, before game 4 even was played.
Yeah.
And if we were doing our jobs correctly,
I had to go out of town, and then it was up to Adam to schedule it the proper.
The right one.
None of you would have ever known that existed.
Correct. And
if we were done our jobs correctly.
Well, it should, and
The Padres have slayed the dragon again.
No,
and
we still
had
got
it-
one more game.
Had it not aired, we would never have mentioned it because
That aired Thursday after the game 4 loss, going to a decisive game 5.
Just like they print up championship T-shirts
For both
the team
teams,
that loses,
Yeah.
and then they send them off to the poor kids in Africa. You have to be prepared.
You're not doing your job if you don't
have
plan.
to be prepared, but it should never be heard from if it doesn't happen. It just gets deleted, and that's it. But somehow it got played on the air.
Is it going against?
That's why. Well, it is going against the 6th seed, Xander Bogaerts.
Makes you pee, huh?
See, now that's a tough one.
It is tough. I know which one Adam is hoping wins.
Makes you pee, huh?
And then in the bottom of that bracket, we have the 2 seed, John Heyman, losing his
Lost his
mind
mind.
during an interview when he was insulted, at least he thought insulted by the host.
Thank you, John.
believe it.
Amazing.
And it'll be going up against the 7th seed, the new coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars at his introductory
Sneaky.
news conference, Liam Cohen.
Duval.
Sneaky.
I don't know how that resonates here in San Diego.
I don't either.
But that's a strong 7 seed.
God,
That's a
it's
good
one of my
2-7 matchup.
favorites. Duval, his creepy look. Do one more time. I like it.
Duval.
Day 1 at the presser. No one
I
smiled.
guess is a chant they do in Duval County at the Jaguars games, but
it's also
the way he said it was definitely weird.
All right, Paulie
Duval.
Brian Morton said, I'm in Jacksonville. He is clowned daily. Jacob says Liam will lead us to the promised land. I'm going to say this. I don't see it, but I'm just judging a book off of its cover. So, yeah, Paulie put the link up in the YouTube feed. Where else? It's all over social media.
It's on our Instagram story. So we'll update that every day that we're voting. And you should have a link. It'll take you to a Google Forms, and go ahead and start filling it out.
I'm doing mine as we speak. I will not share my vote with you.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll have new matchups every day until we crown our champion 1 week from tomorrow and have our 6th annual Tournament of Drops winner.
Sorry, Adam.
All right, Kelly's traffic updated. We can check what's going on in the roadways.
Give me one
Give
second.
them 1 second to look at that. Again, you can go to our social media feeds and get your votes in for our Tournament of Drops anytime you want over the next 24 hours, and we'll give you the results at the same time tomorrow at 7:35 in the morning. All right, here's check traffic right now with Kelly Danik and our wet roadways.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danik.
Traffic is sponsored by Hamul Casino. Yeah, a lot of folks out there on the roads right now are saying, I would love to be cozied up in a casino right now. Yeah, we've had over 50 accidents, guys. It would be a 10-minute report if I mentioned all of them. Not going to happen, okay? All I can say is we've had numerous spin-outs, especially along the transition ramps. Northbound side of the 15's been hit with an accident now, right before Miramar Way, not showing if lanes are blocked. Southbound side of the 805 before the 163. Solo spin-out. Looks like this vehicle may have flipped. Southbound side of the 15 near the 163. Accident involving a couple vehicles. This one appears to be in middle lanes, also toward the South Bay, southbound side of the 805 before Bonita. A spin out vehicle hit the center divide. Yeah, that's just the tip of the iceberg, guys. Hate to tell you. Just please continue to take it extra carefully out there on the roads. Stay toward those middle lanes. Less ponding, less chance of hydroplaning. Good luck. Hey, players, things are about to get real here in San Diego with the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, where you can play your heart out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. Opening this summer, Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place. Learn more at hamulcasino.com. I'm Kelly Danik with Ben & Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
All right, so I'm going to the voting now. Now, when we used to do it on X, and I think this is a better way to do it, you would instantly see like the updated results. Do you get the results when you turn in your vote, or will you not know until we reveal the results tomorrow?
It looks like the default version or the default settings are no, you don't see them right away. I can see the results right away. I see votes pouring in right now. So we will share those results with you guys tomorrow.
Perfect. You guys get your votes in? I got mine.
I now have my votes in. My response has been recorded.
I like this better because it doesn't, you can't be swayed maybe by the results.
By the results, you're like, ooh, this is a close. You just vote for which one you like.
I think, and then you have to also tune in tomorrow to find out. If you like, oh, I voted, 97% of people are voting my way, you go, I don't even need to find out who won. Now you actually need to
tune in and listen
to find out who won the matchup.
Sneaky old radio trick, Paulie, dude. Always getting you. I love that. Love that. Yeah, please be careful out there on the roads. My Lord, it's like Kelly's Super Bowl we said at the break. This is crazy for her. She could have done a 10-minute traffic report.
Even the Padres affected by the weather. They've moved up the start time for today's scheduled game by an hour because after the rain gets here, obviously it's going to head over toward Phoenix. So they're hoping to get the game in before it starts raining. So I believe it's 12:15 now against the Kansas City Royals.
Okay.
Out in Surprise. Yu Darvish will make his second start of the Cactus League today in the road game for the Padres.
I saw yesterday, scary moment for Royals fans. Bobby Witt wore a 96-mile-an-hour heater on what it originally looked like the wrist. And, man, you see that happen way too much. Obviously not intentional. It's spring training. You're probably throwing some guy that, is trying to make a team. You got to pitch inside to a guy like Bobby Witt, and he dotted him, Benny. And he said his hand went numb, his arm went numb, but he actually got him in the forearm. Results came back. He tweeted, thumbs up, he's good to go. But I was thinking about it yesterday, man. It can change. Your season can change like that. He is truly, he's a top 3 player in the game of baseball. And if he goes down for the Royals, the air is sucked out of the entire thing. I mean, if you lose him for 3 months or something with a broken wrist, a broken forearm, like, you're just done for. So, man, it's dicey. This is just such a dicey time of year where you're kind of it's one of the reasons where you look at results and you go, are they healthy? Did they get through the game? Okay, fine, great. And, we'll worry about the regular season then, but get these guys through these games healthy.
Our friend Craig Calcaterra brought up the point this morning. At what point does he just become Bobby Witt? Because he's the better Bobby Witt.
You're always junior.
Are you always junior?
Yeah, Ken Griffey Jr. was junior forever. He's a way better.
Well, but he was known as junior. Bobby Witt's not known as junior. He's known as
Bobby Witt Jr.
Bobby, we don't always say the junior,
I do. Yeah, Bobby Witt Jr. You don't say that?
I don't need to say it every time anymore.
Oh.
But I think there's certainly, Ken Griffey Sr. wasn't Ken Griffey Sr. until Griffey
he had a kid.
Jr.
Right.
came along.
He was just Ken Griffey.
Was he Ken Griffey Sr. though?
Yes.
Like in the first... No, like when Ken Griffey Jr. was just like 6.
Oh, was he senior?
He was just Ken Griffey.
No,
right?
He was Ken Griffey Senior. But I don't know if they called him that on the broadcast.
I don't think they called that. Yeah, I don't think they called him that on the broadcast.
Yeah, Ben's fighting hard for this one, Ray. Ray says, "Why are you dying on this hill?" Just call him Bobby Witt Jr. That's his name.
Well, Fernando Tatis Jr.
You say Junior
is the better Fernando Tatis.
Right, and we always say Fernando Tatis Jr.
We do.
Don't we? I think we do. Or we say Tatis. I usually say Tatis. Actually, yeah. So you just,
but I know
I
know who you're referring to without the junior. You're referring to.
I would also know who you're referring to if you said junior.
Would you? Yeah, junior.
If you're talking Padres and you're like, oh yeah, junior out and right.
Yeah, junior out and right. Yeah, it's not a big deal at all.
You're right. It's
not even a little.
Let's keep talking about
deal.
it.
Yeah, we should.
Let's debate it for another hour.
Yes, master debaters in here.
Since we brought up Bobby Witt Jr., just thought in there. If you didn't want to be junior for your whole life, because you're not a kid.
You're his kid.
I know, but at some point when you get old enough,
I don't think they really care.
I was kidding. We don't have to keep talking.
No, I didn't think he would. I didn't think he would continue, but he
No, I'm writing with this. I'm trying to find his newsletter because he pointed out there was an older baseball player at some point just dropped the junior, even though he was a junior.
We still call Tony Gwynn Jr. Tony Gwynn Jr.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we're never dropping it. He's Bobby Witt Jr.
Bobby Witt Jr.
All right, fair enough.
But he's okay. And I really like that dude is so much fun to watch and is one of the best players in the game. And the Royals have a decent chance as anybody in that division to go out and have a good season. So to lose him would be, it's got to make.
He would have been if it not for Aaron Judge having an historic season.
Correct.
His numbers were good enough to be not just MVP, but like a runaway MVP in most years.
Correct, man.
He had an insanely good season last year.
So good. What do you have his numbers in front of you?
332, 32 homers, 109 RBI, 161 games, led the AL with 211 hits in his third big league season.
That's a dream year, man. Imagine that's your shortstop. Holy smokes, dude. So good. So good. So he's all right.
Let's see. A former Padre has a new home. Phil Maton has signed with the St. Louis Cardinals on a 1-year contract this morning. Welcome back to the big leagues, Phil Maton.
I feel like he's been in the big leagues for 17 years. I really do. He's the spin. He spins it really well. He's always going to have a job.
He has been.
He's with the Astros.
Padres 2017, 2018, and 2019. Guardians then for 2.5 seasons. Then the Astros, then the Rays, then the Mets, now the Cardinals.
Who got him?
Cardinals.
Cardinals got him.
Yeah.
All right.
Bounced around 4.16 career ERA. Started with the Padres, though, in 2017 when he was a rookie.
Yeah. Decent. Decent bullpen arm. David Robertson is still out there, they're saying, is a guy that some team's going to need to snatch up pretty quick.
A couple of veterans. Lance Lynn is still
Lance Lynn's out there.
Yeah.
He wants to be a closer. Anthony Rizzo's still out there. Can't find a job. Some of these guys, man, it's like they hit this kind of age or this wall.
Even the Yankees who need arms are saying, hey, we don't really want to sign any more free agents because we're over the luxury tax at this point. Brian Cashman is pretty candid about that, going, I don't see us going the free agent route. We don't have more money to spend. So I don't know where those guys are going to find a job at this point. Maybe it's one of those midseason wait until a team absolutely needs someone later in the year.
Mets getting hit a little bit hard with some injury news. Jeff McNeil's going to be out at least a month, they said, with a oblique strain. They lost their catcher, Francisco Alvarez. He's going to be out, I think, 6 to 8 weeks potentially. So yeah, man, I as much as we hate losing to the Rockies yesterday, everybody came through it unscathed so far. That's really my always my number one hope for spring training. I don't care if Tatis goes 0 for 25 at spring training, as long as he gets through healthy and is there opening day ready to go. I really don't care about a lot of these numbers.
Hoping that Sean Reynolds and Brian Hoeing can start at least getting closer to coming back, and neither will be ready for the start of the season at this point. That's pretty clear now.
Yep.
But I do think both of those guys will help the Padres at some point this season. Those have been the primary injuries of concern so far during spring training.
Yeah, I mean, look, and if you get through spring training and those are the only two that are that you got to worry about, I'd say pretty successful spring training regardless of record. Would I like to have beaten the Rockies yesterday? Yes, they are going to be our great white whale.
Just as typically the junior is dropped after the father passes away. At that point, the junior can also change to a second.
I don't think anybody cares anymore about this.
For the love of God.
For the love of God.
We'll come back. We've got real or fake, spring training, Sammy, and more, all in our third hour of Better Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, we're halfway home on a very wet and rainy, dreary Thursday here in America's finest city. Please be careful out on the roads. We need you guys alive, right? Because we need you to listen to the radio show and be there and show up to the opening day broadcast. I mean, I'm just being selfish, but we need you around. You know, hopefully that you make it to work safely. I mean, looking outside the window right now, it's as bad as I've ever seen it. So please be careful, slow down, take your time, get off your phone, all that. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Reindl, the executive producer. Ben Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor, joins us as well.
Wait, did you mention an opening day broadcast?
I sure did. Going to be back at Baja Rick's,
all right,
my friend.
We've had a lot of tier ones asking about it. We've kind of hinted around the fact that we thought we were returning, but it is now official. You can write it in for opening day, 2 weeks from today.
2 weeks
Thursday,
from today.
the
Yep.
27th. We will broadcast live starting at 6 a.m. Baja Rick's Cantina, which is right there at the trolley stop downtown, outside the Omni, across from the Hard Rock there in the courtyard. Great spot. Anyone going down to the game. We had so many tier ones that joined us last year. Hopefully we'll have an even better turnout this year.
Well, and even if you're not going to the game, remember, we want as many tier ones as possible because it's not only opening day and the opening day broadcast, it's our birthday.
Yeah.
The Ben and Woods show, anniversary, March 27th, 2018. We're starting our 8th year together.
Amazing. 7-year itch is over, right?
All I know is we're going to rage.
Are people
that
expected
Thursday.
to bring us gifts for our birthday?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly, don't show up unless you have something nice to give us.
Our security guard, Corey Stewart, will be
Yeah.
making sure you have a gift. There will be a table, like
Just
walking into a
it's
wedding.
like walking
or
into a
something.
wedding.
Yeah.
Leave a gift or a card or something. But yeah, 100%.
Maybe we'll make a cardboard, like a poster board with our Venmos or something.
Yeah. I'm sure that would
Should we,
fly.
like Jake at his wedding, should we have a registry? that we
That's
set
actually
up
a really, really
for Ben and Wood's birthday?
good idea.
Where we can just
What do we need?
Send people to the website to buy us exactly what we need.
That would be
Or
fantastic.
as the new trend
We should
is,
get a bunch of blenders
Yeah.
and bowls,
Air
and-
fryers.
and the new trend, of course, for those registries is just the cash donation.
Yes, I look, I've got a friend getting married. He's the one I was supposed to go to that bachelor party on Easter weekend way out in Florida. Remember that? And I have a Seals game, so I can't make it.
It's too bad.
Oh, man. Love the dude. But I'm 50 years old in July. The bachelor party days are well behind me. They're well behind, and they should be behind him as well. But they're
I was
not.
gonna say.
It's his first wedding. So he's 52 years
I
old.
mean, he's waited this long for it.
He's got to
You
have
can't
gotta
take-
have.
You can't take it away from him now.
Dude. So he and I have this conversation once a week, and I'm like, bro, you're married, you live with her already, you have a full house, you have everything you need. I said, just do the, hey, make it up. Say, oh, well, we're going to Mazatlan or whatever for our honeymoon. We'd like to go watch whales. Donate to the whale watching fund. You don't have to actually go. Just take the money. Keep the money.
That's bait and switch.
Yeah,
That's unethical.
100%. But then you have, we want to go snorkeling, scuba diving.
It makes the person giving the money feel better about it if they
100%.
think it's going to some sort of desired fun activity.
Exactly. I don't care what you do with the
But
money.
technically, money is just money.
It's money.
I don't care as long as it gets me out of
Going.
whatever. Going.
Going.
I mean, I had some friends recently. They just had their first baby. Somebody was started a meal train thing
Yep.
online. Here's $100.
Yes. Enjoy.
Get whatever you
Get
want.
whatever you like. It's so much better than registering for stuff. We talked to Crony about it. We sent him a wedding gift. He goes, I would like to thank you personally, but one of the bowls you sent me, we have like 80 of them. He said, we got 80 wine glasses. I go, what are you going to do with 80 wine glasses? And he goes,
Well, you don't have to do the dishes right away. If you
I
have,
have
a glass
no
of wine.
idea. He goes, I have no idea. There's not even where to put them. When are you going to have 80 people over to your house for wine?
Now, Jake's a Major League Baseball player, so hopefully he's doing okay financially. But my guess would be that 85 to 90% of wedding gifts in cash are actually used to pay off the debt incurred as
By
you
the wedding.
set up your wedding,
Yeah.
which is really expensive.
Yeah,
so,
no doubt.
that's what it's actually going to. Let's not have any illusions of where that money is being funneled to.
Yeah, and I was able to get out of that. It probably would have been a very expensive trip. Like when we talked about it, I think the rooms were like $750 a night. And I was like, oh, cool. This is going to be $5,000 weekend in Florida, which I did not want to fly cross country to. But I do have another trip coming up, Ben, that you may be interested in. I want your advice on this. It's kind of a fake vacation for Hannah and I, like a vacation, because we're taking the kids to Telluride, Colorado. Never been. I hear it's amazing.
Is that the fake vacation part that you're taking the kids?
Well, so it's the reason why it's kind of a fake vacation is that we're only going for 2 days and then we are leaving those turds.
It's more of a drop off than a vacation.
More of a drop off, right? It's we're all coming up for the weekend. Hannah and I were flying out Saturday with the kids, and then we fly back early Monday. So it is like
But the real treat then is a few days without your children.
A full week.
A full week without your children.
I can't.
What are you going to do with yourselves?
Take one guess.
Nothing.
Over and over and over
Nothing.
and over and over. We have opening day that week. We have a concert in LA that week. We have so much planned. We're going to have such a great time. But my question to you is, and I'm debating this internally. I went out and I got all the ski gear. The pants, the jacket.
You did.
I got it all. Got a good deal on it, actually.
Did you?
Hanson's, yeah. They did
New or slightly used?
New. Yeah, new ski gear.
Skis.
Yep. I didn't get skis. No.
You didn't get your
No,
skis.
you rent the skis.
Okay. You don't want to have to travel with those.
God, no. And you got the pants, the long johns, the socks.
Plasticky pants so they don't get all...
Yeah, so you don't get all wet. I got the ski jacket. I got the hat and the gloves. So I'm ready to hit the slopes. But I'm a little nervous about hitting the slopes. Should I even bother skiing?
Yes.
It's been over 15 years.
But I would like to see it.
You want to see it?
The kids want to ski.
Yeah.
The kids have 3 days of ski school. So we are going to take them there. See you guys later.
Oh, you won't be skiing with the kids.
No.
You let the professionals.
So you really can choose whether or not to ski.
I could sit at a bar and drink Fireball all day if I wanted to.
Do you feel the need to go
For
beyond
speed? Yes.
the bunny slopes?
Oh, yeah.
When you're there.
Yeah, I want to go up to the top.
You do?
My perfect, and I've never skied there, so I need to look at the mountain. But I would like a nice, long, easy run. Just easy, just kind of gliding, cruising. Nothing with moguls.
I've told my one skiing story, right? Before?
No. I don't.
Only went skiing once. My family.
One time.
In my life. One time. Went up to Big Bear. I was probably, I don't know, felt like around 10 or 11 years old.
Yep.
They did the ski school for me.
You guys just on a whim decided
drive up with the family. I don't know what the impetus was.
Was your dad a skier?
No.
Mom?
No, not really.
Okay.
I mean, they had done some skiing before, but it wasn't something we did regularly. This was a little unusual. Winter vacation, go up for, cabin, stayed like 3-4 days, whatever, snow summit, Big Bear. Never skied before, so they rented the skis, put me in the ski school on the bunny slopes, and learn how to snowplow and go down slowly. And I was doing all right. Like
you're 10.
Managing to get down the bunny slope, get back up off the chair, which was, it's a bit of a practice thing. So I thought, all right, let's go up with, now this lessons are over. Let's go up with Dad to the very easiest of the intermediate slopes.
Right.
Like go up the longer chairlift.
Like the blue diamond?
No. Well, whatever is
the
that
black one's the
not black, is
the blue
double
square.
black. No, blue square.
Blue square.
Something, it's not even a diamond. This or circle or square, whatever's the easiest intermediate slope. But I didn't realize that the snow plow doesn't slow you down enough, even on the intermediate slopes.
Yeah, you need to be able to turn
and hockey back and forth. And I guess I had not learned that. So after 4 or 5 crashes, just over and over again, and Dad's there with me, I'm done. And we walk down the mountain. He's got to carry my skis as we walk all the way back down the mountain. And that was the last time I've ever gone skiing in my life. Don't think he really enjoyed that.
There's and as a father, there's a sense of a lack of pride in your child.
Probably.
When they fail that spectacularly at something. And say, that's it. I'm walking down. It's happened. It's happened with both of my kids. And there is something in you, and you fight it, right? You fight it not to be an a-hole about it. Like, Oh my God!
I think in
man.
hindsight now, I would have known. I've never been good at the balance type sports.
Yeah,
it's really. I have a
golf is a balance sport.
I have a very. I wouldn't call that a balance sport.
You're not like moving.
That's true.
You're very still.
The ball.
I have a very high center of gravity. Short
Top
arms,
heavy.
long legs, top heavy. Doesn't go well with anything that requires a great deal of balance.
Oh my goodness!
Skiing never was going to be. Surfing never was going to be my sport. That's really where we learned it the first time, the hard way.
So you crashed a few times, and was it like were you like crying?
Yeah,
like I'm done.
I'm done. Crying. I don't want to do this anymore. Get me off this mountain.
And you can't walk in ski boots too. It's like the heel to toe.
Yeah.
And he's lugging your skis. And what are you doing? Just crying
I'm
the whole
crying,
way down.
Walking down, crying.
Get
me
one
back
of these,
to the
like
lodge. Yeah. It was bad.
I was snowboarding one time as a kid. I used to snowboard a lot. It was fun. And I was just kind of cruising. I wasn't going super fast. I was just kind of minding my own business. And my buddy who had gone snowboarding for the first time finally decided to graduate off the bunny hill and join us. He didn't know how to stop.
It's so
and
hard.
All of a sudden I just hear, look out. And he is just bombing right towards me and just collides with me.
Right into you.
And we kind of like tumble. I hit my head on the like packed snow. It hurt. Probably got a bit of a concussion. Now the difference between skiing and snowboarding was I was probably, I don't know, halfway down the mountain at this point, down the slope. I was able to unhook myself out of my the snowboard and sit on it like a sled.
Oh,
and kind of slowly make my way back down that
bleeding.
way. Yeah, as I'm bleeding out of my ear.
So
I didn't have to walk
down the hill. People in the chat are saying, Woodsy, you got to snowboard instead. Look, man, when I started skiing, I was in 6th grade in Connecticut. It was sheets of ice. There was no snow. You learned how to ski on sheets of ice. You when you ski down, it would sound like this. The whole time, and you would stop, and it would take you 40 yards to come to a stop. You turn to the side and all the way through, and you're like, so everybody was like, skiing's for dorks, dude. We snowboard now. I could never get it. I tried. I didn't like my feet being planted. I liked my feet being independent. Skis are independent of each other, and so I tried it a couple times, tried it up at Steamboat. I spent the whole week on my ass. My ass was raw. It was horrible. I just don't think I got it in me at 50 to get up and snowboard again. But I think skiing, I think I'll be okay.
Even if there was snowboarding when we were younger, it was so frowned upon by skiers.
Oh, skiers and snowboarders were like, it was like Crips in the Bloods, dude.
Yes. I get the sense now it's
a
little more equitable on the mountain, and everyone just gets that you're all there to enjoy yourself. But back then it was gnarly. You had to pick skiing or snowboarding. You did. And you were in that camp, and that was in that
camp. Yeah, and I was in the skiing camp, and it was just I'm nervous about it because again, I'm not 25 anymore. Your body doesn't recover. I don't want to rip my knee in half or do something stupid, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to give it a whirl. I'll make sure Hannah gets some video of me skiing. She's not going up. She's like, I'm not going anywhere near that mountain. So I'll have maybe my father-in-law do it. But yeah, I'm excited. We're going to drop the kids off, come back. We'll have a week to ourselves.
Now, you look good in the ski gear.
Oh,
though.
yeah, my ski
gear.
Very
flattering.
My ski gear
is everyone
killer.
Everyone kind of looks bulky,
it
like
looks
we
killer.
look normally. So once you're on the mountain in bulky ski stuff, like no one knows.
I got some good stuff
if
too.
you have a few extra LBs on you at that point, because everyone looks kind of puffy. In ski gear.
But I'm very I'm anxious about it. I'm very anxious about it. But I'll make sure to get some vid. Oh man, this Cali Sober Skier says this is too funny. I'm sitting here getting ready to hit the slopes this morning. Park City is rocking, man. Yeah, I'll be up there. I'm gonna do one. I told him I'm gonna do one day. I'm gonna go. We're flying out Saturday morning. I'll go on Sunday, and then we leave on Monday.
Now I can do lodge life.
Lodge life's legit.
All the way. A hot toddy. I'm absolutely
sandwiches,
there for lodge life. Yep. Sandwiches, hot cocoa.
You like sandwiches out there?
I love sandwiches.
So I have no problem going and enjoying the lodge, but I don't believe there's any more skiing in my future after the one time I tried it.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least you tried it once.
I know some people think you feel defeated. You have to
go conquer
that mountain. You have to conquer that mountain. I don't have that desire. I don't feel like I need something I need to get done before my time on this earth is done.
I bet in his deepest moments, your dad remembers that day. And
I'm sure he does.
Fondly.
I remember it. I would imagine he remembers it as well.
Childhood is so traumatic, dude. It really is so much trauma from our childhood, and
it was one of the more traumatic days growing up.
My kid walked up to the top of a ride and walked back. He chickened out when he got to the top, and I felt a little bit of shame. But then I remembered, you did it too, dummy. I did it at a water slide.
And my parents are so great. They are always so supportive of everything.
Yeah.
But it was impossible, I think, for him to hide the frustration
shame
and disappointment
and
that day. And I do remember it because kids remember that sort of thing. And I know how disappointing I was on my skiing effort.
Oh, man.
But really, it's on them for even, making me attempt something I was.
Yeah. Why did you make me do this?
No hope of being good at. I really didn't.
Man, well, I'm sorry, bud.
All right.
It does explain a lot.
We'll take a timeout. It is a Throwback Thursday, so we need a contestant for real or fake. No musical knowledge required today. If you want to try to qualify for our grand prize trip to Las Vegas, you can do so right now by calling in at 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Call now. We will get a contestant and play our game of real or fake in our next segment, and then Sammy Levitt will join us from spring training at the bottom of the hour. All coming up on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Yeah, let me tell you guys about my beloved Sedano Ford, my friend Manny Sedano's local veteran-owned dealership, dishing out tons of savings right now. Take the Ford F-150 Lightning. That is an incredible deal, just $99 a month. Or the Bronco Badlands can be yours for just $275 a month. Then there's the Ford Maverick. It's a compact truck, packs about 35 miles a gallon, rolling in at just $275 a month. Ford is a brand that I've supported my entire life. It's in our blood. My grandfather worked at Ford in Detroit. If you need a fix, Sedano Ford's mobile service will come right to your driveway. Cruise into March with a ride that you will love from a local veteran-owned crew that you can trust. Head on over to Sedano Ford in La Mesa. Make sure to tell them Woodsy sent you. They'll take good care of you. Want to get you behind the wheel of your dream car or truck, Sedano style. The deals are so good there right now. Don't wait. Rush to SedanoFord.com before the green March savings vanish under the San Diego sun, or I guess the San Diego rain today. You'll be grinning from ear to ear driving home in your new Ford. For more details about these offers, again, go to SedanoFord.com.
Got some golf going on this morning. Players' Championship. It's the biggest prize in golf, biggest prize purse and great field at the famous TPC Sawgrass with the Island Green.
So rad.
17th hole underway this morning, first round. And then we had an announcement I thought was good news for San Diego golf fans yesterday. The Farmers Insurance Open in 2026 is returning to its Thursday to Sunday dates as opposed to Wednesday to Saturday, and will once again be on that dead weekend between the conference championships and the Super Bowl.
Brilliant.
Which is a much, much more desirable location. The last 3 or 4 years, they've been stuck on conference championship weekend. Didn't want to play on Sunday against 2 football games, so they wrapped up on Saturday. But that means a Wednesday start and a short week. They can actually have the full week and 2 days on the weekend for everybody to get out to Torrey, see at Torrey Pines.
It's great.
And, get back to a better time slot, as it were, for golf next year.
Fantastic. Who's leading right now in the players?
Let's see. The updated leaderboard this morning saw Jordan Spieth's name a lot. Lucas Glover at 4 under par through 10 holes, and then a bunch of guys at 3 under par. But not everyone's even teed off yet this morning. So
Brandon said, did Ben go a whole show yesterday without mentioning Tiger's Achilles injury?
I believe I did not.
I think we did not.
There's not much to say. He's a battered, broken guy when it comes to his body. And I mean, I'm sure he'll recover and will play some golf in the future. I don't know if it'll be any better or worse than it would have been beforehand. I just don't think his body is going to allow him to ever truly be competitive again. Body and age at this point. I mean, he'll turn 50 later this year. So, yeah, I think the days of Tiger Woods being a factor in PGA tournaments have probably been over for a while, and this doesn't change that much.
Probably won't see him bombing down any slopes at Telluride.
But no Masters this year. Well, always fun to see Tiger at Augusta, but no, that's not going to happen after the ACL surgery. All right, looks like we got some contestants on the line. Let's get to a Throwback Thursday game of real or fake.
Some are here for the compelling sports talk with Ben and Woods. You can go plow through another donut. It's time for Real or Fake on 97.3 The Fan. Tell the people what they'll win today.
Roberto will be playing to try to qualify for our grand prize drawing. It is 2 nights in Las Vegas at the Flamingo and 2 tickets to see Alanis Morissette at the Coliseum at Caesars Palace, plus a $100 gas card. You can get your own tickets for Alanis Morissette at Ticketmaster.com. Roberto, good morning to you.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm good. I think you're lucky because I think this is a fairly easy game of real or fake today. We will see. You can ask Woods for all the help you want. Monday, of course, is St. Patrick's Day. Going thematic for today's edition of Real or Fake. There are currently 8 permanent marshmallow shapes in a traditional box of General Mills Lucky Charms.
There's 8?
8. I will name a shape. You tell me if it is a real Lucky Charms marshmallow or a fake I have thrown in for today's game. Seems simple to me.
Well, I'm going to need Woods' help because I don't eat sweets.
No, all
you
right.
don't eat sweets. Well, you
luckily,
came to the right place.
Woods has been known to have a sugary breakfast cereal or 2 in his past. When's the last time you had Lucky Charms?
It's been a while, man.
Okay.
But now that you said it, I'll be grabbing some for the weekend.
Sounds good.
Sounds amazing.
Let's go round number 1. Goldfish, real or fake Lucky Charms marshmallow?
I'm going to go fake.
I'm going to agree with him.
He's going to fake. Everyone says fake. Paulie? Fake.
Yes.
1 point. You need 4 to qualify. All right, round number 2.
Okay.
Balloon. A balloon, real or fake?
What do you think, Woodsy?
That's real, buddy.
Seems very confident, Roberto.
Okay. I'm going with real.
He's going with real. Yeah, big campaign when we were kids. The red balloon, added to the marshmallow mix. All right, we are 2 for 2. Let's go to round 3. Unicorn, real or fake Lucky Charms marshmallow?
I'm not sure. Wood?
Fake.
Wood says fake. Roberto, he says fake, and you are both.
That
is a real bitch Lucky Charms marshmallow. No worries, just 1 miss. Let's go to round number 4. A leprechaun hat.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Leprechaun hat, real or fake Lucky Charms?
Leprechaun hat?
A leprechaun hat. Like that green top hat.
Wood?
He's trying to get us, man. It's like a trick question. That's fake.
I think it's
fake.
Think it's fake?
Yeah. It's not, I mean, there's
leprechaun hat
is
fake.
It's just marshmallow shapes. Is it a shape or is it not?
Or you go with your gut, though. Whatever you want.
Fake.
Fake. Really? It's an easy one. Very easy shape to make. That is
Fake. I told you.
Very good. You are one away from the win. All right, let's go round 5. A moon. A moon. Real or fake?
I think it's real.
That
What
is
do
real,
you
buddy.
think?
That's real. I think you're going to win it.
Real.
Yep.
Real. The crescent moon is absolutely real.
Yeah,
Very
buddy.
good. You know
Good
your
job,
marshmallows.
boys.
Thank you, buddy.
Congratulations.
Enjoy.
Hang on the line. Paulie will get your information, put you into the drawing for the grand prize. Bunny.
Fake.
Fake. Rainbow.
Real.
Real. Yeah. See, I thought it was a fairly simple game of real or fake. Well done, you. Well done, Roberto. And we'll have Sam Levitt joining us. A little spring training. Sammy is in Arizona standing by. We'll chat with what's going on at Padres camp in Peoria. Coming up next on 97.3 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 000-466. For a full list of games and rules, play at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
Weird.
There it is. Look at
Disclaimer
that.
there. Very nice. All the
Very
details
quick.
for 7 Mile Casino, which is not just the easiest card room to get to in San Diego, not just the best card room for everybody. It's also a great place, Woods, for high stakes card action. If you are a real player and are looking for a real high stakes Texas Hold'em action or a high limit California style blackjack, they will cater to you at 7 Mile Casino. They absolutely know what it's like to be a serious card player, and they want to make sure they take care of those players especially well at 7 Mile Casino.
Yeah, they'll take good care of you. They got a really special staff there. So friendly, so professional, so eager to serve, and always a smoke-free environment at 7 Mile Casino. I, of course, love to play California-style blackjack there. I love 7 Mile Casino. They are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. Take our word for it. See it for yourself today.
Check out the restaurant, of course. The weekend's a great time to go to Sammy's at 7 Mile because they offer the award-winning Best in South County brunch Saturdays and Sundays from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And even if the weather's not good, you can stay inside in the bar area.
Yeah, buddy.
TVs all over the place. What a spot at 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from downtown. Grocery stores in San Diego wondering why the sales of Lucky Charms spiked
Through the
today.
roof.
Because we were talking about it on Real or Fake.
Well, you give somebody an idea, and it sticks in their mind, and they go, "Oh man, it's been a while since I had Lucky Charms. I would like a bowl." But my trainer's not listening.
I'm curious what Sammy Levitt's
cereal of choice.
Cereal of choice.
Shredded
is.
wheat is my
Well,
guess.
what about the everyone has their favorite sugary cereal though. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't eat sugary cereal every day, but as Sam Levitt, spring training Sammy joins us from Peoria, Arizona. All right, special treat occasion, bowl of sugary cereal. Sammy, what do you pick?
I didn't grow up eating sugary cereal. We were a very Cheerios friendly, non-sugar cereal family growing up. So I don't really buy it, but if I'm in a hotel or something, I would say maybe Frosted Flakes. I love a good bowl of Frosted Flakes.
Man,
get a little soggy.
They are great.
It's nice
for sure.
yes.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch is a good call.
Legit.
Like Cocoa Puffs.
I do not like chocolate. I don't like
ones.
chocolate at breakfast.
I agree with you.
We've had this conversation.
I agree with you.
Delicious. My favorite's Captain Crunch, though.
The Crunch Berries, yeah.
Yeah.
KG says grape nuts. There is no way
No.
you've eaten. They don't taste like grapes or nuts. They taste like butt. They are. My grandfather used to eat those things.
Fruity Pebbles.
I wouldn't. If I was starving, I don't think I'd eat a bowl of grape nuts. I'm not kidding. I'd be like, you know what? I'm good.
It's gravel.
It's disgusting.
Tastes
dude.
like
They're
gravel
so
and it
gross.
feels like gravel in your mouth.
Why are they called grape nuts?
I have no idea.
It's disgusting, dude. Disgusting.
All right, how's the weather out there? I heard they moved the game up a little bit today against the Kansas City Royals because what we have here, it's brutal.
Yep.
Is heading your way, Sammy.
Yeah, game and surprise today. Yu Darvish scheduled to pitch. I'm a little curious if the weather does get a little bit non-ideal, if that's something they may push back, or even if they think the weather could impact that game at all. I mean, remember we were in Maryvale a handful of days ago. Kyle Hart threw 2 innings, and then the game was over, and he was actually scheduled to go 3. So, I would assume they don't want that kind of situation with Yu Darvish. So I'll be interested to see in a little while here when Mike Schilt talks to see if Yu is still the scheduled starting pitcher, or maybe they would just push him back a day. So we'll see. But right now it's sunny, a little chilly here, but no bad weather here. But yes, the forecast is not great for later, and they did move up the game an hour to plan for that.
Sammy, do you think our anybody in our catching core will ever get a hit again?
I hope so. I hope so. Look, I think it hasn't been a great offensive spring for any of those guys. Look, I heard you guys talk about it a little bit earlier. It is really a fascinating situation with that second catcher spot to see if Martin Maldonado is somebody who could come in here and grab a job. I mean, look, I keep sort of leaning on, something that Mike Schilt said throughout spring, and that it is a defensive first position, right? So, in that kind of scenario, it kind of makes you think that way as far as Maldonado, and we'll see how it shakes out. But yes, you're right about the offensive side has not been stellar all the way.
Well, and really neither is the defensive side, to be honest.
It's some nice throws.
A couple nice throws.
That's
true.
Throws.
That's true. That's true. Again, spring training, nothing to panic about yet, but an area of concern going into spring training, and now you're seeing it manifest itself as a bigger concern right now.
Yeah, and I also think of all the spots, it's like the one to me that I feel like I know the least about as far as like how it's going to shake out. Like, is Maldonado going to show up here and and grab one of those spots? We'll see kind of what happens with Campy, and he is somebody who has an option left. So we'll see how it shakes out. I think it's a kind of a fascinating decision that the Padres have in front of them as the final couple of weeks go on here.
Sammy, I'm sure if we asked Mike Schilt, this would be the greatest looking last place Cactus League team you've ever seen. And I can't stress enough how unimportant wins and losses are in spring training. But outside of the organization, as you've been watching the games, is there any reason for concern that the Padres just keep getting obliterated,
bodied
in every single one of these games, seemingly?
No, I don't think. I don't think as a team now. If you want to have a little concern that Robert Suarez has had a couple of outings that have been really, really rough. I mean, I guess that's fair. It's really, I mean, again, I heard the conversation that you guys had a little bit earlier, and I tend to agree with it. Like, I don't think on opening day, if it's a one-run game against the middle of the Atlanta lineup, that like I'm gonna be thinking about what Robert did in spring and be nervous for that reason, So we'll see. But look, it's it's spring training, and you got to take all these things with a grain of salt. I think good and bad as far as the results. But no, personally, I am not very concerned, to be quite honest with you. We'll see kind of what the individual performances, how they shake out once the year gets going.
It is wild, man. I still kind of am on pins and needles, Sammy. Expecting a trade. I don't know why. I just kind of had that kind of gut feeling. It's been so quiet out there, eerily quiet, very calm, and let's be honest, vanilla and boring, which is, kind of what we needed after the last few spring trainings, certainly. But I just kind of get that weird tingly thing that like AJ Preller is still looking to improve this team somehow.
Yeah. It's funny you say that, because it almost reminds me of what we always say about AJ in the offseason. Like, hey, yes, it's been quiet, but I don't think any of us saw the Nick Pivetta signing coming, right? Like, that came out of nowhere.
Left field,
and that was
sure. Yeah,
came out of left field, and that was early. Now, that wasn't, I think, the magnitude of move that would, like, shake you to the core. It would be hard for me to see it 2 weeks to opening day now. But you never know. And like we've talked about before, AJ is one of those general managers, maybe the only general manager that will actively, make a big move this time of year.
Bro, he'll do it he'll do it the day before opening day. I mean, we've seen all of that.
Absolutely. Yeah. I remember my first season, I was just settling in at the extended stay place in San Diego I was at, and he traded for Taylor Rogers. The Minaya move was pretty late that year, if I recall. That was that whole couple of months was kind of a blur to me, to be honest. I was not as locked in yet to San Diego Padre world as I am now. But I will also say this, and it's something that I talked about with Xander a little bit yesterday, and look, I do think there is something to the continuity, and we use that word a lot in the first couple of weeks. I think I said that word continuity a lot. Similar group, similar core. It's not all the same. You replace some veterans with some others that you hope can have a really high level of production. But I think the hope here is that you can kind of roll from the regular season last year and what they were, the style they played, how close, how tight-knit of a group it was, how well they played as a group. And you have kind of that same core, and you keep it rolling with the same staff, and there is continuity here in a normal spring training. So to your point, Woodsy, I hope we come away looking back saying, okay, this was sort of the most quiet, most sort of normal spring training they've had in a while, and maybe that's a good thing as far as some continuity from one year to the next.
Talking to Sam Levitt. Speaking of your Xander Bogaerts interview, we're actually going to play that coming up at 9:20. I thought you did a really nice job talking to Xander. But
he's always a good interview.
That's the thing with
he's
Xander.
A great
he's
interview.
I would say he's totally opposite of Manny Machado, who is always nothing seems to ever bother Manny, which is great. And I'm not saying that everything bothers Xander, but he's very thoughtful and forthcoming with his answers sometimes. And you see sometimes like the doubt and the uncertainty with Xander, like, this is a really hard game. And you're asking me, to make predictions on something. And all I can tell you is that, I'll do my best, but this is a hard game of baseball that we play.
He's honest. He's very honest,
he's very
always,
honest.
which I do appreciate.
Yeah. Look, the thing I really like about when you talk to Xander is it seems like the answers aren't canned at all. Like, it seems like whatever is popping into his head is coming out of his mouth, which, is kind of refreshing. So, good conversation with him. I think playing shortstop from a physical perspective is important to him. He feels great. He had a different offseason with a lot of running. He feels lighter. He feels really, really good physically. I asked him about, and he's a guy, look, even though, there have been aspects of the last couple of years, which have not been what he would have wanted. From a performance standpoint, and obviously, from a health standpoint as well. Some of it's been unfortunate, the injury last year in particular. But I asked him what he hopes this group takes away from the way it ended last year. And, I thought that was a really interesting answer. I know you guys will play it a little bit later. Talked about his offense and what he wants to do. And look, it wasn't the type of answer where he was like, look, I got to be better. And it did intimate that, but it wasn't this, hey, I gotta do everything to put this team on my back.
Yeah.
He said, look, I've won. So he alluded to the Silver Sluggers he's won before, and he wants to have a year like that again. And he wants to have a Xander Bogaerts type season. So, look, again, with him, yeah, it's not always this like kind of, canned answer kind of thing. Like you really, kind of see inside his brain, and he's sort of processing it as he's talking, and people will hear it later. But he's always a great interview, and I'll tell you what, I'm rooting for him, man.
Oh, of course,
I really am.
Of course.
I truly believe if he can put together a really good year, he's got a lot of intangibles that should play so well with this group, and he's won before. And I hope the best is yet to come with him in a real way this year. I'm telling you, he's an easy guy to root for, and it's been an odd couple of years for him in a number of ways these first 2 years in San Diego. So I'm rooting for him. I also have a great interview with Jeremiah Estrada. I think I alluded to it the other day. I haven't put it out yet. That should come out a little bit later, which I thought was really, really good. So I'm going to try to get that out today as well. Got a couple others in the what do they call it? In the
hopper?
Not the hopper. What in the can?
The can.
Industry
can. Do you know what he means when he says in the can, Ben? Okay, good.
Yes, got a couple others in the can, so we'll get those out over the next.
And we'll play the Xander Bogaerts interview coming up here at 9:20. Sammy, thank you. Before you go, any buzz there about John Seidler's takeover? And I mean, he seems to want to stay under the radar, other than talking to AC for a few minutes.
Yeah, I didn't physically see him out here yesterday. I saw some of the photos, and obviously he had the article in the Union Tribune, and I just, to be honest with you, I wasn't out on the field a ton yesterday because I was doing some other stuff. I was doing some spring breakout stuff, so it was an odd day for me that I wasn't out there. So I didn't get a chance to meet him, but I'm very much looking forward to meeting him. Hopefully at some point while he's out here, and looking forward to that and seeing what the John Seidler era brings. So I'm looking forward to it.
All right, 2 weeks to opening day. We're going to be out at Baja Rick's again. So hopefully you'll make it out with us that morning for our opening day broadcast, Sammy.
Yeah, sounds good, guys.
All right.
Thanks,
Sam
brother.
Levitt, spring training.
All right.
Sammy checking in from Peoria, Arizona. And hopefully staying dry later as that rain comes over to Arizona from us here. Speaking of the rain, let's get a check of that gnarly traffic this morning with Kelly Danick.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by local and veteran-owned Kearney Mesa Volkswagen. Yeah, I have a feeling a lot of folks are going to be shopping for new cars after today. We've had so many accidents, guys. I can't even begin to mention them all, but I'll touch on a few here. In the South Bay, southbound side of the 805 accident, just past Palm Avenue. Vehicles facing the wrong way in the center divide. Well, gee, yeah, I've been seeing a lot of that. Numerous spinouts, yeah, seems to be the buzzword. Eastbound side of the 824 West Main Street, there's a crash involving a couple vehicles. It's over to the right shoulder. Eastbound King Freeway, still clearing an accident just past Euclid. This one's got the two right lanes blocked. And in the North County, traveling East 78, right before the 15, got a collision over to the right shoulder. It looks like a light post got knocked down. That's kind of the tip of the iceberg, you guys. Still plenty of other problems out there. So if you are still heading out, you know what to do. Take it extra carefully. Have those headlights on so you're more visible to other drivers. San Diego, it's game time at Kearney Mesa Volkswagen, your local and veteran-owned dealership, now teamed up with Sedano Auto Group, dropping slam dunk savings. Drive the 2025 Volkswagen Jetta S, just $274 a month. Visit KearneyMesaVolkswagen.com for more details. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Seen in the chat, Tier 1 Paul, one of the crash victims this morning. Hopefully he's okay. Crashed his Honda on the way to work. I'm not looking forward to the drive home after 10 o'clock.
Oh, dude.
Not looking forward to it at all.
Please drive slow.
You
and,
go slow.
And give yourself space around you.
Yeah, give yourself
You
some
may
time.
think you're okay, but the guy next to you may not know what he's doing.
Better yet, we've got an hour and 15 minutes or so before we hit the roads. If you could just clear the roadways from
Before
here
we get
to
home.
Encinitas.
Yeah.
From Arrow Drive to Encinitas, just absolutely clear the roadways so we can have a nice empty drive home. I'd appreciate it.
It's like the Eagles leaving the Sphere the other night when I saw. Yeah, just everyone jumps in their own SUV. I
So
like that.
Sammy mentioned that he's got an interview with Jeremiah Estrada in the can. Jocelyn, tier 1 in the chat, says Jeremiah told me he has family that's disowned him and hates him because he plays for the Padres. His family from Imperial Valley, obviously,
I respect it.
Dodgers fans.
I respect it. I think that's hysterical.
I thought blood was thicker than
Well,
water.
maybe it's probably like uncles and stuff. I doubt it's his parents. You know what I mean? They're like, screw you, pal. But I bet you like uncles and cousins are like, nah, dude, I'm not
Cousin
talking to you.
Jeremiah betrayed the family by playing for the Padres.
Yep.
Come on.
That's exactly right. No, I mean, we've talked about it before. Wherever your kids go, that's who you root for, period. If Bo goes to USC,
but not
fight
cousin,
on,
apparently.
bro. Yeah, not cousin. Absolutely. That's so funny. That is so funny.
Huh.
Christmas says Jeremiah's cousin works with Chris here in San Diego. He's a hardcore Dodger fan. Yeah. Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Outstanding.
Not a rivalry, though, remember.
I feel like if my cousin was on the Dodgers, and I'm not that close with my cousins, but I'd root for him at least.
Boy.
I wouldn't hate him. That's still not like the Dodgers, but I'd absolutely root for my cousin to do well.
I know you would.
You don't think I should?
We all know you would. We know there's enough LA under the surface there that it would bubble over.
Am I wrong about this, Paulie? Yeah. Like if you had a relative who played for your team's rival, you couldn't at least hope
I don't know
that
if
they
it's
do
right
well.
or wrong. It's just not surprising.
Yeah, we're not surprised. I'm not saying you're right or wrong. We're just not surprised.
You're like an iceberg. There's the tip
the
is
tip.
like, I have family history with the Lakers, and I like Dave Roberts as a person.
You're
but
like
underneath the water.
You got a little John Seidler in you, to be honest with you. It's need a 12-step program, as he said he went through.
I do
to get rid of the beat LA.
Vince Scully was one of my grandfather's good friends.
Here we go.
Sure.
Oh my God. 2 weeks before the
I don't hate.
opening
I
day.
never hated Vin.
No, you can't hate Vin.
Didn't hate Vin.
Who else did you like?
I never really liked any
fan?
Dodgers players. I honestly trying to think of like a Dodger player that I didn't despise. I didn't even like Fernando Valenzuela. He was hard to dislike.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
I didn't like him. Pedro Guerrero, I didn't like him either. I didn't like him either.
That's
I
true.
did not like any Dodgers players growing up. I really didn't.
It's amazing.
Steve Sachs hated him.
Oh yeah, clown. Yeah.
So I didn't have a lot of allegiance to any. I didn't really have any to any of those guys.
Don't gotta lie to us, man.
All right, Throwback Thursday. Paulie's got some clips for us, and our biggest fan all coming up next here on 97.3 The Fan. Final hour of Ben and Woods. Got some tickets to give away to the San Diego FC match on Saturday night. Coming up in our 9:20 segment, we'll also hear from Xander Bogaerts, his interview with Sam Levitt. Reindl Report headlines as well. And Throwback Thursday coming up in just a moment.
Busy.
Got a lot to get to in this final hour. First thing we need to get to, though, is our biggest fan, 9 o'clock. First announcement of the day. We're down to the last 7 names in the morning here. Next week, the contest comes to an end. It's not too late. You can still register your name. Try to win our grand prize, 20 tickets for you and your friends for a night in our Odyssey suite at a Padres game later this season. Just go to 97.3 The Fan, sd.com/biggest fan to get your name in to the drawing. If you hear your name, you'll have 10 minutes to call us back. Someone's already calling. I haven't given the name yet. 833-288-0973.
What would the odds of that be?
That would be very, very low.
Should have just taken him and asked his name. Like, nope, sorry.
No, yeah,
Sorry.
Do it. Pick him up.
He's already hung up.
He
got shamed already.
Today's biggest fan is Danny Redfem from San Diego. Danny Redfem, you have 10 minutes to call us at 833-288-0973. Good luck. Good luck to me as well on the way home.
You don't have to tell us everything.
You really don't.
I've been assigned a chore on my way home, as it were. I'm sure that there are husbands out there who know this chore well.
Yeah.
Since I'm already out and about.
But you're not out and about.
Well, I'll be on my way home. It's easier for me to stop than, jumping in the car and doing it yourself.
You live 100 yards from a grocery
and I will
store.
be passing it by right on my way home, which is my wife just needs some specialized products from the pharmacy, the hygiene aisle.
Right. The feminine
hygiene aisle.
The feminine area.
Yeah.
And you have to go get them.
Correct.
And you don't need anything else.
I don't.
So you're just going.
There's no reason to be. It's not like embarrassing, is it? To go to the drugstore and
I don't
get a box. It's just normal, right?
Sure. I've never done it.
You've never done it.
Maybe
never done it.
I think I did it one time, and it was with another trough full of groceries,
like camouflage.
Yeah, I put it like stuff to.
They still have to eventually scan it
to the bottom.
It's one of them. I'm probably just gonna get the one box, and
Just
that's
the
it.
one
Check
thing.
out. I mean, I don't have to say anything like these aren't for me or thing, right?
Yeah,
So-
I know, Slick. Yeah, Rod says I do it, but I hide it with other stuff. But he won't do that. He won't spend an extra nickel. Do you need any like Dr. Scholl's or anything you could
I don't
just
need
grab?
anything else right now.
Deodorant, anything?
No, I'm pretty good. I get most of that stuff at Costco.
Get like one of those magazines. Oh, the history of Led Zeppelin.
Does that
throw
make
this
it
on
any
top.
better?
I think a little bit. Robin says, "Why do you need to hide it?" You don't. You don't. You don't. You really don't. And Tevin says, "I'd also get a few snacks and stuff too while I'm there." And then McKee said, "This would be a good use of Instacart. 100%."
That's what we said.
How quickly does that work?
Quickly.
Pretty quickly?
Yeah.
On second thought, maybe I shouldn't have brought this up at all.
Ben at the checkout. I'm not a cat. So
Throwback
sports.
Thursday.
So sports. Whew. Dominic says, I feel like the misogyny bell might be incoming. Or I don't know. Is that misogynistic to prefer? Like if I needed something, men don't have that though. We don't have that thing. I wouldn't have any qualms about saying, grab me some razors, none, or some shaving
That's a good
cream.
point.
You
But
know,
women use those too.
Correct.
Yeah.
We don't have that thing. But if I wore like adult diapers, I'd probably go get them
I guess,
myself.
would you ask Hannah to buy you a jock strap?
Oh yeah, I would. Just to make her uncomfortable. She's bought me a cup before. Yeah, she's bought me a cup. Yeah, that's true.
I think she had to say, "This isn't for me."
Yeah, this is not for me. We know. That's interesting.
All right, let's get to Throwback Thursday here. Paulie has
You are something else.
pulled some clips for us. We're going back to the pandemic again, Paulie, 5 years
a couple
ago.
clips from this week in 2020.
Okay.
And we start with, let's see. How about it happened again? Somebody not actively listening and repeating somebody.
Who could that be?
Seconds later. Well, it's actually you.
What's it mean? Son of a bitch.
And even worse, it was with a guest.
Oh, no. I don't even remember this.
No, you
Oh,
don't.
I'm gonna be sick.
So back in March of 2020, we were this was March 10th, so we probably didn't know that yet that the season was going to get canceled or postponed at least. And we were talking with RJ Anderson, MLB writer, I think for CBS Sports at the time. And here's what happened. And this might have been a little bit edited, but just
okay.
In your opinion, who else do you like coming out of the NL to have a banner year?
Yeah, so I think one team that probably isn't going to be talked enough about at this point is the Cincinnati Reds.
Are you buying into at all the Cincinnati Reds?
Oh,
you know,
no!
you just
said he liked the Reds.
Oh, he did. I missed it. I totally missed it. I totally
said he liked the Reds.
missed it.
Voice
I totally
was
missed it.
all about the Reds.
I was.
It's all right.
That's my fault. That's a flub.
Oh, man. I don't remember that even a little.
Even if there was a few seconds in between that were edited out there, that was pretty quickly after he had just said
like your next question.
Are you buying into the Reds at all?
What do you think about the Reds? Like I just told you, you moron.
What was my voice super high then, or is
I feel like that was sped up like 5 to 10%.
Oh, you like the Reds? What do you think about the Reds?
In your opinion, who else do you like coming out of the NL to have a banner year?
A little
bit.
Little Alvin
I really
says
like the
something,
Reds.
or,
Why do you like the Reds? You like the Reds?
What in the world? I have zero recollection of that. None whatsoever. But I mean,
I vaguely remember.
That's once in 7 years. Once.
I've got more.
I do remember the second clip that Paulie has pulled.
What is this one?
Now I don't remember exactly what happened, but based on the context of the clip here, it sounds like we were taking some calls and a caller might have said a no word, and so we had to hit the dump button. And I think this was, we weren't even a year old here at the Fan in a new studio, and Woods realized for the first time that he doesn't have a dump button.
I did not.
There are 3 chairs being used. 2 of the 3 chairs have a dump button.
Mine does not.
But he is not trusted with the with the responsible stuff.
You got one here
of
at the
radio
board.
management.
And then you have the number 1 chair.
That's all you get to do is panic. Yeah. Well, I don't know if it works for you, but that's the benefit of being chair 1.
That's what happens when
So
you're
I don't
just a
panic.
sidekick.
I just move my finger up here.
Hey, boss.
Woods, I love the Woods panic though. That's always fun.
Hey, boss, can you hit the dump button, please? Boss, he said a bad word. Can you hit the dump, boss?
That's me. Little tattoo. Sidekick to Ben.
Ben and tattoo.
Hey, boss, he just said a curse word. Hit the dump button, please. The FCC is knocking on the door.
It's one of my favorite things you can do.
I forgot about that entirely.
Hey, boss. Boss, please. Boss. He said a bad word. He just said a curse word. Hit the dump button, please.
The FCC.
The FCC is knocking on the door.
Oh, I forgot about that. I forgot about that entirely.
By the way,
The FCC
in 5 years, nothing has changed. I still have a dump button here.
Nothing.
Woods is
What are
not
these for?
authorized. Yeah, don't push them. They're lighting up whatever they're doing.
Is that doing anything? Wait. Oh, yeah, it's mute. Cough. Check.
That
Check,
cough
check.
button actually works. Yeah, it does work.
It's first time 7 years in. I didn't know.
I didn't realize
that
that
Test
actually
1,
was
2,
functional.
6,
Wow,
7, 8, 9.
It does work.
Hey, Ben, why don't you... you stupid mother... Yeah, it works. Okay, good. No, I didn't. I did not know I had that. That's so good.
He just said a curse word.
Brandon said, good call on the Reds. They made the playoffs that year.
Short
Joey
season.
Votto. Short season, yeah.
Hit the dump button, please.
Does that just wreck your voice? It hurts my voice.
I could do that one. That was easy.
The FCC is knocking on the door. And Bob Adam is outside.
Oh, it's so good. Oh, geez, we used to have some fun on this show. That was really good.
God.
Yeah, thank you, Paulie. Pretty brilliant.
No insult to the fine actor who played Tattoo on Fantasy Island.
Hervé
Villachez. Yes, very good.
I think he had a rough ending. I think it ended well for him.
Ricardo Montalban, though, slick guy,
slick dude.
Yeah,
but I think it was a sad ending for Little Tattoo. Who was, one of my favorite shows of all time was Fantasy Island. They do not make them like that anymore. Now we get Temptation Island, and we get shows of that ilk. But I
Fantasy Island. I did not watch much Fantasy Island.
Oh.
It was more of like it was the Love Boat model.
Oh,
where
I
you
love the
have
Love Boat.
different guest stars coming in each week with the regular crew interacting with them.
What was the premise? The premise?
A fantasy island. It was an island where like your wishes came true. It was like a vacation spot, but it was truly like magical.
It was
right?
magical.
Google says at a luxurious but remote tropical island resort, the Mr. Rourke somehow makes the secret dreams of his well-heeled guests come true.
Well-heeled.
Although twists of fate occasionally turn those dreams into nightmares.
Okay.
But you had to arrive by plane.
Yeah.
It was so remote. So when the new guests would arrive, Tattoo would point out the plane arriving every week.
Incredible. Yeah, I don't remember it, but I remember liking it a lot and watching it like every time it was on. It's great. In one episode, when Tattoo was given his own fantasy as a birthday gift, which ended up with him being chased by hostile natives in canoes, Mr. Rourke suddenly appeared in a motorboat, snared his canoe with a grappling hook, and towed it away at high speed to help him escape.
I'm guessing that culturally, a lot of these things aren't going to hold up.
Yeah. I agree.
I mean, you go back to like Gilligan's Island and the natives and the Harlem Globetrotters on Gilligan's Island. It's definitely not as politically correct as it probably could have been back in the day.
Definitely different.
But this is what we had when we were children to watch on television.
I enjoyed it.
Man, shows had better theme songs.
They
back
had
then,
much
too.
better theme songs than they do today. Much better.
Now it's just they get right into the show.
Yep. I'm with you.
What's the most embarrassing like rewatch that you'd say? Because I know you rewatch The Sopranos a ton, but you're not embarrassed by that. It's classic, legendary television.
I was actually going to do about an hour on this today. There's something wrong with me. I can't.
You started it again, didn't
I
you?
started a new show yesterday. It's called Paradise. Have you guys heard of this? It's on Hulu. And I got kind of into it, and then I don't want to ruin it for people, but it turns out that it's like I think it's kind of maybe some fantasy involved in there. It's not what it seems at the beginning.
It's a new show, though.
Well, no, it's a new show. A president dies, and the Secret Service guy, you're trying to get to the bottom of it. And then at the end of episode 1, there's this twist that made me go, I can't do this, man. It's like a kind of I'll just say the Truman Show. Does that make sense when I say that? And so I go, all right, well, I'm out on this. I just can't stick with anything.
I guess what I feel bad about is I know how much good TV is out now. I mean, we're in the golden age of television programs. You can't even keep up. Yeah, I was on my Paramount Plus app the other day. And I go, ooh, they've got classic episodes of MacGyver. And then I start watching a few episodes of MacGyver. And I know that's a waste of my time.
It is.
And they're not even good anymore.
I know.
I watched them as a kid, but it's that nostalgia. Like, oh, I remember the theme song, and I remember Mac and all of his inventions to get out of tight spots every single week. And it's like I should be watching something better and new.
Yeah,
and yet I go and watch dumb things I watched as a kid sometimes.
I tried to watch. What did I try to watch a couple years ago? Cheers, and I was like, all right. I mean, I remember loving this as a kid. It just didn't feel like it held up to me. But oh well.
All right, we will come back. Sammy Levitt, as we mentioned, had a chance. A really good interview. It's not long. It's like 6 minutes, but I thought it was worth playing.
Oh, yeah.
Conversation with Xander Bogaerts. He's very forthright always, very thoughtful with his responses. And we're going to play Sammy with Xander when we come back here on Ben and Woods. First, I want to talk about SDFatLoss.com. It's the way I lost 40 pounds in 60 days, and I have kept that weight off about 20 months now at this point. I got on the scale this morning, honestly. Still 3 pounds down from where I was when I started the journey. It's part of the appeal. What's the point of losing a bunch of weight if you're just going to gain it right back after you're done with the program? What's different about SDFatLoss.com, basing it on real foods, and then there's a maintenance strategy as well to help you keep the weight off afterwards. And it's still fast weight loss, up to a pound of fat per day, 10 to 20% of your body weight in just 60 days. Please set up your free consultation by going to SDFatLoss.com. Take advantage of the spring special going on still today here in the month of March. Get $200 off the program. You don't have to buy any extras like shakes or bars or mixes. There's no injections, no hormones, none of that. You don't even have to exercise, and you can still lose weight fast, safely, and permanently with sdfatloss.com. So again, get your free consultation. Go online today. Visit them at sdfatloss.com. Sammy Levitt continues to do an absolute bang-up job covering spring training for us in Peoria. He's been there more than a month now, and while I don't think he gets to talk to every single player, he really does try to hit just about everyone. And one player we didn't get a chance to talk to when we were there was Xander Bogaerts. He did the fake phone call as he was walking by. I remember that morning.
Yeah.
But Sammy pinned him down yesterday.
Not literally, he didn't pin him down.
No, but he set up a camera, made him stand in a certain spot for like 5 or 6 minutes, and
Be good
asked
if
him some questions.
Sammy put his knees on his shoulders. He was on the ground. Oh, bless you, buddy.
Kind of like a full Nelson.
Yeah, full Nelson. Yeah.
Come on, Xander.
Answer these questions.
But, Xander's very thoughtful with his responses, and I thought it was worth playing back and talking about a little bit. So here's Sammy Levitt with Xander Bogaerts yesterday in Peoria, Arizona.
Sam Levitt here, the Padres Radio Network and 97.3 The Fan, and right now I'm joined by Padres shortstop Xander Bogaerts here in Peoria as we inch our way towards opening day, final couple of weeks of spring training. And Xander, thinking about it, every spring training for you with the Padres has been a little bit different. 2023, your first one. Last year, you come here, you're moving to second base, obviously a different kind of spring. What has this spring been like in particular, knowing you're playing shortstop and really the schedule has been pretty normal as well?
Yeah, I think for the most part, like physically, I mean, I feel good. Don't have any of those issues I had when I did that switch over to second. I just think my body kind of took a little longer to get adjusted to that maybe. Me never playing that position, I had no idea of it being something like that or probably had to go through something like that. But yeah, just feeling pretty normal for the most part. My legs, my hips and stuff like that feels pretty normal. I mean, I maybe it's just my body just used to that.
I know early in spring training you talked a little bit about how the offseason was different for you from a training perspective.
Yeah.
Can you get into some of the details of what you did differently from a physical perspective?
Ran until I couldn't run no more, No, yeah, but just as I said, just kind of going back at short, knowing that I am getting older and I'm aware of that, and just trying to do everything possible to. I mean, I still feel young, but if you can feel even younger, keep those legs fresh and just feel faster, quicker. I mean, definitely think a lot of those workouts that we did at home helped a lot, feeling much lighter, feeling quicker. So, as I said, knowing that going back at short, that's a very demanding position. Second base, it's a lot different, but I still feel like it's a little less stress on your body. But for the most part, it's been smooth so far.
What's it been like to show up here this year? Obviously, there are a number of faces that contributed to a 93-win team last year that aren't here, whether it be Profar, Solano, or Peralta.
Higgy.
But you walk inside that clubhouse, Xander, and something that stood out to me immediately. There are a lot of faces that are. I mean, the core of this team is the same. A group that played so well last year, seemed so tight-knit last year. What stands out to you about what you have in that clubhouse right now?
And I mean, we brought in another set of group of veteran guys. For the most part, our team is the same, but we definitely did lose some key guys on our team. Scott also, I know we got him at the deadline, but he was huge for us. Hey man, that's the game. I've been around so long that you can't have them all. It's very tough to run back the same team. Guys had really good seasons. Other teams value them differently, so they're not here no more. But that just opens up the door for other guys, younger guys, veteran guys that want to extend their careers, younger guys that want to have something to prove. Merrill obviously having a great year last year. I mean, that was very special. Also, it's kind of a new addition. I mean, he was a rookie last year, but he had an awesome year for us last year. But yeah, as a lot of guys can see, like the younger guys, Jackson did it. We have a lot of guys that probably similar age or a little younger. I mean, if he can do it, that gives them a little push that, it's possible.
It was a wonderful regular season. Obviously, it didn't end the way you guys envisioned. I've talked to you a lot in the past about winning a couple of World Series, what you can impart on younger players on this team, really in the clubhouse as a whole from your history of success in the playoffs. What do you hope this group learned from the way it ended last year?
Big question. Yeah, but last year was one that, you might have felt like you let it slip away or felt like you probably had the best team but didn't win it all, And as I say, it's very tough for you to run back the same team. And 2013, we won. We were veteran group. I was one of the younger guys. We won, then we tried to run it back. I think we actually brought back kind of much the same team in 14. And I think we ended up last place, So don't take everything for granted. Don't ever. Didn't mean that you were there last year, that you're going to be there automatic this year. Every year is different. Just continue working hard and being as a group. Whenever we go through adversity, know who we are, fall back on what we're known for, our identity. Just like here, 2022, we made it. I wasn't part of the team, but guys made it all the way almost to the end. And then in 2023, my first year here, we definitely underperformed for sure, So, and then we made it back. Last year was a special year. So every year is different. Don't ever take anyone for granted and any year for granted. This is a hard game, and all the other teams in the big leagues are definitely adding to their roster. They saw what we did last year also. So makes you also have a little target on your back. To be honest with you, a lot of teams, whenever they show up at Petco, like they want to go after the boys. They know we're pretty good, and hey, it comes with it. When you're good, that's who they want to go after. So be aware of that and understand that that's going to happen. We're up for the challenge. We're definitely excited for this new year, and as I said, last year was very special.
Finally, we've talked about your off-season training, your health, your defense back at shortstop. Xander, from an offensive perspective, hopefully you can stay healthy the whole year. What do you want to accomplish? What are your goals this year offensively?
Have another Silver Slugs type season. I've definitely won a couple. Very blessed for those, but definitely having one of those type of seasons. I know my first year here, I was nominated. Last year was a very tough one for me personally on a performance level. And listen, this is a new year, and we obviously had, at least I've had something special last year that we got so far. We almost had a chance. They kind of took off some of the weight off of yourself and your performance. But you definitely want to help contribute each and every game and hopefully make a big push. So hopefully another solid Xander Bogaerts type season.
Well, Xander, great to see you. Thank you for the time as always.
Thank you.
Look forward to catching up throughout the course of the regular season, and thanks so much for the time. Enjoy the final couple of weeks in Peoria. Nothing like Peoria. We'll be in San Diego soon.
Thank you.
The candid Xander Bogaerts with Sammy Levitt. And I thought what stood out to me, and it's probably a good message for every team, including the Padres. When Xander won the World Series, first time with the Red Sox as a youngster in 2013, they rolled it back in 2014 going, hey, we just won a World Series. Let's run it back with the same team. And they finished in last place the next year. And that stuck with Xander, obviously, the knowledge that you can have all the players and talent in the world doesn't guarantee you a thing. Every season, it's his own entity, and you got to approach it like we are back to square zero. And that's what Padres are, what the Dodgers are at this point. 0-0 going into this season.
Yeah, man. Still got to win those games. Brandon nails it in the chat. Says all fans are asking is just a little more production. They want to love you so bad, Xander. I think that's true.
I mean, if he goes back to Silver Slugger, I had forgotten that he was a Silver Slugger nominee 2 years ago with the Padres. Didn't win it. Last year, he said, was much tougher for him, but I think we're hoping for better than either of the first two seasons from Xander Bogaerts.
No question. No question. Yeah, great dude. I mean, great dude. Guy, like Sammy said earlier, easy to root for, certainly. You want greatness from Xander Bogaerts. You think that maybe it's in there, and if he stays healthy, let's see what he can do in a full 162. But it's been a big if, man. He's been banged up since he got here.
And honestly, even when he has been healthier, the production has never really approached the levels that he got to in Boston.
No, I mean, when he started here, it was so hot. So hot.
Yeah, first month was great.
God,
yeah, April.
Incredible. Looked like a steal. And then not so much.
And then he got hurt and really has not been the same since May or so of 2023.
Yep.
All right. We've got one segment left. Paulie's got a Reindl Report, get some headlines for us, including some breaking baseball news out of Tampa Bay.
Yeah,
I just saw that. We will give you an update on the future of the Rays coming up next on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 000-466. For a full list of games and rules, play at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
First, though, want to tell you about our place to play cards in San Diego. Would love it if you made it yours as well. 7 Mile Casino. It's right down the 5 freeway in Chula Vista on Bay Boulevard. It's the west side of the freeway, which just an ideal spot. Overlook San Diego Bay. You can go out on a nicer day than this and enjoy the patio with friends, have a great meal at Sammy's, and then sit down at one of their great tables of action, California-style blackjack, Texas Hold'em poker, Pai Gow, and Baccarat at 7 Mile Casino.
That's right, buddy. High-limit games, bigger, bolder, better than ever, whether it's high-stakes poker, fast-paced California-style blackjack, my favorite, and Baccarat. The thrills are nonstop. The stakes are higher at 7 Mile Casino. Smoke-free environment, friendly staff, great food. It's got everything you're looking for. And again, so easy, Benjamin, to get to.
And I want to also stress that the people are top-notch. They got a great staff,
I
friendly,
literally just said that.
professional, eager to serve, and always smoke-free. Did you mention that?
I did.
Did you mention all of that?
Yeah.
Well, it's always good to repeat
That's
things
true.
in commercials.
That is true.
Really lets the message sink in that you want to head to 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from downtown.
And before we go to break, let's give away those tickets.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, yes,
That
that's
we
right. We do
teased.
have the SDFC tickets. Thank you for reminding me, Paulie. If you'd like to win, be our fourth caller at 833-288-0973. Tickets for Saturday's game against the Columbus Crew at Snapdragon Stadium, second home game in franchise history.
Yeah, buddy.
Want to see another good crowd out there at Snapdragon after the sellout in the first one? Call now, 833-288-0973. Your chance to win SDFC tickets from Ben & Woods here on 97.3 The Fan. Congratulations to Rafa from the YouTube chat. Won the tickets to SDFC for Saturday night's game against Columbus Crew. I mean, they've never lost ever.
No,
in franchise history.
No, never had an L.
I'm curious to see how long they can keep that going.
As am I.
I
Can't wait.
I think the Padres managed like one day, or they may actually won 3 in a row to start franchise history in 1969.
Like, this thing's going to the top,
and then they finished dead last for 9-10 straight years.
That's a good, it's a decent little San Diego sports weekend, Benjamin. I mean, depending on how tomorrow's Aztecs game goes, right?
That's true. You could have the Mountain West Championship game on Saturday if the Aztecs advance. We know we'll see the women's SDSU team pop up in the brackets somewhere. Hopefully the men pop up. We got UCSD, the semifinals tomorrow in the Big West, and finals on Saturday, and hopefully they make the NCAA tournament. Let's see.
Got a Seals matinee on Sunday. 1:30.
Legion, I believe, this weekend as well. SDFC or San Diego Wave opens their season on the road on Sunday at Angel City FC. So it is quite a busy local sports weekend.
Looking forward to it. Let's get a lot of dubs.
You were right, Benny. The 1969 Padres started their first 3 games. They swept the Houston Astros.
Yeah. Wow.
And then they lost 9 of their next 10.
Yeah. Starting a decade and like dead last.
A harbinger of things to come.
Yeah, really setting the tone.
It was much harder for expansion teams back then, and really any sport, to be successful. They did not give them any advantages in terms of, the expansion draft really left you with a pretty below average roster for the first few years.
I did not try to curse the Aztecs by saying they're playing tomorrow. I meant today, 2:30.
They're definitely playing
they're
today.
playing today.
After that, it depends on how they do. All right, Paulie's got a final Reindl Report headlines for our show after our last check of traffic with Kelly Danick here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Hamul Casino. Well, guys, if our roads are any indication, it looks like a lot of folks are where they need to be now. We're not showing a whole lot of accidents, but mostly hazards in the form of flooding. We've even gotten reports of some rocks in the roadway. West 8 past Waring Road. Also stalled vehicles northbound side of the 805 before Governor. This one appears to be in middle lanes. Southbound side of the 15 past Friars Road, a stall in the slow lane. Also reports of the right lanes being flooded on northbound 5 near Pacific Highway. So you definitely want to stay to the left there. Yeah, guys, just please continue to take it extra carefully out there. Not sure if this afternoon's commute will be as bad, but do expect some scattered showers just the same. Hey, players, things are about to get real here in San Diego with the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, where you can play your heart out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. Opening this summer, Hamul Casino Resort, the player's place. Learn more at hamulcasino.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And get things started here with our today's edition of the Reindl Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Reindl Report with Paul Reindl.
Hi, Paul.
All right.
2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Reindl Report
Hey, Paul, how you doing?
Okay, how are you?
on 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a oh yeah?
All right.
All right.
It is the Reindl Report, brought to you by the Craft Taco. Whether you're craving tacos for lunch or a craft beer for happy hour, the Craft Taco is the answer. Now open in Balboa Park and Sereno Valley.
Paulie, what about a lineup quickly first?
Go
before
for it.
the Reindl Report. We got plenty of time.
Please do.
Luis Ariz leading off, playing first base. Jose Iglesias playing third base, hitting second. Jackson Merrill in center. Xander Bogaerts cleaning it up at short. Jake Cronenworth playing second. Oscar Gonzalez in right. Camposano, the DH today. Jason Hayward getting a start in left field. Martin Maldonado, the aforementioned Martin Maldonado, behind the dish today with Yu Darvish on the bump.
At the Royals.
At the Royals.
Okay.
Thank you for that lineup for this very important spring training game.
Yes, massive must win today.
All right, we will still stay in Major League Baseball. Some breaking news from just about a half an hour ago. It's being reported that the Tampa Bay Rays will not be moving forward with their plans to build a new stadium in St. Pete.
Okay.
They're going to focus all of their attention on the Tropicana
Right.
Field and get that ready for play next April
26.
2026.
Yeah, April 26th.
But they had to do that anyway.
Right.
They did have to do that anyway. But I thought when like the storms hit and just ravished that roof, like they were saying, like that's ridiculously ambitious to think it'll be ready by opening day 2026.
But even so, the Trop has been the worst major league ballpark for decades now, and they're not going to build a new one. It doesn't really give you a lot of confidence as to the future of the Rays in Tampa.
Yeah, and again, we talked a little bit about it this week. You know, Major League Baseball probably doesn't want them to move. They are allegedly pressuring the owners to sell because they want to get 2 new teams in in Major League Baseball, and you get the expansion fees and all that. And if they move, that's relocation. That's not expansion.
Then that's probably what we're going to hear next, that they're going to decide to sell, and they didn't want to start this process of a whole new stadium if they weren't going to see it through. Why, make the giant investment in a new stadium?
So it basically tells
you have to sell the team.
We're out of here.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's
now, I'm not saying that the Rays are out of Tampa, but the owners are not interested in being the stewards of the franchise for the long term in Tampa.
Yeah, no question. And somebody said in the chat too, and I saw this pop up. There's a group in Nashville pushing hard to get a team there. The Nashville Stars is what they're looking at, and they're trying to get an expansion team there. But look, there's a couple other cities out there. Portland is a city that's always mentioned. Raleigh, Durham is mentioned as well as a potential landing spot for a Major League Baseball team. Who knows, man? Who knows? But I feel terrible for Rays fans. They're going to go through this the next, who knows how long.
I'm taking shrapnel in the chat.
Why is that?
Ben sounds like he's getting sick. No, I've been sick the last 2 days.
Yeah.
Our Ben's glass is crooked. Probably.
Look at me. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. You're having a rough day.
Yeah.
And you have to go buy tampons after the show. So.
All right, we'll move over to the NFL. So we talked about it a little bit yesterday. This is kind of the week where there's going to be a lot of moving parts and some big names changing teams or being released from teams. Yesterday, the biggest names were Aaron Rodgers and Cooper Kupp.
Yep.
No surprise, but they were officially released by the Jets and the Rams, respectively, and they are now free agents.
Mm-hmm.
It's always funny, and my son was telling me this yesterday. There's way worse players in the league than like Cooper Kupp.
Sure.
But that doesn't save you from the salary cap release. I mean, no one even wanted to trade for Cooper Kupp, but he's a good receiver. He's just not probably worth what they're paying him now, and you can't overpay players in the NFL and really feel like you can be successful anymore. You can pay players a lot. There are players who make tons of money, but you can't overpay players or you have pretty much handcuffed yourself for your roster for the season.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. And, the people that really want a salary cap and floor in baseball, that's what you'd run up against. And look, that may be refreshing to some people. You're not paying guys exorbitant amount of money into their late 30s, which we will be, and a lot of teams will be. So, yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on there. The Aaron Rodgers saga, is this going to drag out for weeks and weeks and months? And
I doubt it, because most teams have already settled their quarterback.
They settled their
situation.
quarterback.
He's only got a couple of choices.
Steelers
really.
and Giants, I saw. Yeah.
Probably the 2 most likely destinations.
At this point, I kind of want him to go to the Vikings and really
do the Brett Favre.
Fulfill the Brett Favre path.
Yeah, 100%.
Packers, Jets,
send his wiener to a girl or something too.
We don't have to go that far.
Maybe steal from a
I don't wish
charity
that on Kevin O'Connell.
I don't wish that on him either. That's your buddy. Yeah, steal some money from the poor.
I mean, Kevin O'Connell has been the quarterback whisperer, but I don't think that Aaron Rodgers wants anyone whispering in his ear.
Right.
I mean, between all those teams, though, you think Mike Tomlin's going to have more success whispering into his ear?
Not really. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to do Aaron Rodgers wherever he lands.
Yeah, I think
take it or leave it.
I tend to agree. All right, and then finally, some goofy story here. So this has probably happened to a lot of you out there. You order something online, maybe from Amazon, and you just get the wrong item. It happens, right?
Yeah.
And it's nobody's fault, but you got to reach out. You got to send it back, reach out to the company, and try to get the product that you actually ordered. I got a story here about a guy who has been sharing this all online, his whole saga with Amazon.
I like when people share their sagas like this.
Right.
You know, like
because it's not super funny if it just happens once.
Right. Yeah.
He's like, here's the whole story.
Yeah, it's happened multiple times.
So this guy went on to Amazon and he bought a vinyl record from the punk band Counterparts.
I'm unfamiliar.
Yeah, I was not familiar with them. Apparently they are like hardcore punk screamo. Like the vinyl is called or the EP is called Heaven Let Them Die.
Oh.
And the cover art is a lamb bathing in blood.
Okay.
So that's what he was expecting, but what he got, and this was like a week ago, so March.
Right, so he orders the vinyl of Counterparts.
And they sent
him
something in the mail.
Clay Aiken's latest Christmas album by mistake. Which
It
is
is
pretty,
an album.
pretty
but
funny.
That's a funny bit.
The best part is they keep sending it to him. So he got it's called Christmas Bells Are Ringing by Clay Aiken.
Yeah.
And he goes, what in the hell is this? This is not what I ordered. And he sent it. He let Amazon know. He submitted the return and tried to get the right item. And they sent him a second Clay Aiken Christmas album, the same one.
Same one.
Exact
It's not like the
one.
spelling or anything is close here. This is
Counterparts Clay Aiken.
I mean, both C, I
That's
guess. That's about
Yeah,
it.
the C, pretty much. So he then goes back into his Amazon account and requests another refund and
Still got
another
it wrong, guys.
exchange. Please, I don't want another Clay Aiken album. I want Heaven Let Them Die by Counterparts.
It's so different. The genres are so far apart.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just so
they would
far
not
apart.
be in the same spot of Lou's records. If you
No,
were going
they
in,
would not.
you'd be in
No.
different sections entirely.
Correct.
So he tries a third time.
Third time's
sends
a
it
charm?
back. Third time was not a charm.
Oh my god.
He got a third
Clay Aiken.
Clay Aiken Christmas album.
Now you're gonna
everyone's
take this Christmas album.
You're gonna
and
like
you're gonna
it.
like it.
Everyone's saying it must be something like, it's all automated how
Yeah.
this all works. Maybe the product IDs got mixed up or something like that, and whatever you go to order Counterparts.
So everyone who ordered Counterparts is
Got Clay
probably
Aiken.
getting Clay
Maybe.
Aiken instead.
Maybe. I saw. I was like, I got to know what this all sounds like. So here's what he wanted.
All right, let's get a taste of Counterpart.
Try to skip to some vocals. That's what he was hoping for. Wow. But what he got was.
It's not only the worst Christmas song, now it's sung by Clay Aiken and makes it doubly bad.
I mean, obviously, if you don't get the record you wanted, it doesn't really matter what you got.
Right.
You're sending it back. But honestly, there may not be two farther songs away on the musical
I don't know.
spectrum.
The mashup, too.
Mashup's pretty
Mashup's not
tight.
bad.
Check it out. Sounds like Trans-Siberian Orchestra with Clay Aiken on vocals.
Oh,
Nate says they don't have a website to order from. Yeah, I mean,
they probably do, but
probably do.
Get 2-day shipping.
He
or
was keeping it
something.
easy.
Now, his Counterparts, is that even too gnarly for you? I mean,
Yeah.
I couldn't listen
Yeah,
to that. I don't think I can listen to Clay Aiken either, but I
somewhere
could
in the
not
middle.
do that song.
If you had to listen to one,
You know,
what would it be?
and it's funny, like there's those really hardcore bands, and I don't hate them at all. I mean, I like heavy music, but I also like vocals. Vocals for me is really where it starts and stops. Like, and so if you have heavy music, but you can sing over it, I'm into it. But I'm like, all right, I'm kind of an angry dude.
Ben Decipher's Counterparts.
Oh yes, Ben Decipher's death metal, Norwegian
I'm
death
in.
metal. Let's try it.
That's
try
tomorrow
it.
on a
give me,
Friday.
well, give me a little. Just
pull
bring
up
this
a
song
death-
back
pull
up
up a-
again.
Wait, what?
Yeah, pull
Bring
up
up Counterparts again. Let me
Yeah.
see if we can get any words on
words.
this. That's right. Give him a second.
Yeah, you
we
got
got a minute here.
Closed it out.
No, open it up again. Go to some vocals, and you play along too, Woods, because I
figured out.
I don't know that there's a single word that is intelligible in what he was screaming at us. And heaven. Well, it is heaven. Let him die. So the heaven is probably one of the words.
Yes.
More.
A little more.
Dive. To the sky,
A children something. I don't know.
I don't have the lyrics, so I'll have to double check you. But I'm definitely down for some Ben deciphers.
That's it. My buddy in high school used to listen to this band called Napalm Death. And he would play it in his truck. And I would look at him and go, really? Like, I liked Pantera. I like Deftones. I mean, they're pretty heavy bands. They get pretty loud. They scream a little bit, but they also sing.
But in your name, do you have to just announce to the world, we are so hard.
We are the most hardcore. Napalm Death. Napalm Death virus. No, I mean, they're.
And that's just listening to it, but like going live, even like I went and saw Foo Fighters for the first time last year, and they're phenomenal. But there are a couple of songs where they are screaming. Dave Grohl is screaming so loud that if I didn't know the words, I would have no idea what they're saying. And he's kind of drowned out by the music.
Yeah.
And you're like, good thing I know the lyrics.
I like, like Matt says, I don't mind some guttural yelling, but you got to offset it with some killer vocals too. I think Chino does a really good job of that at Deftones. But man, that is really, really something else. A little Napalm Death, Paulie.
Did you know if you play Counterparts backwards, it becomes the Clay
Aiken Christmas song?
Now.
Yeah, this is unbelievable.
All right,
get a little Napalm Death in you before we leave.
All right,
Paulie's gonna pull it up. Are they all explicit?
Yeah.
I mean, so Counterparts might have been as well. We'll never.
I've no idea.
Never
we wouldn't know. I guess.
I think you can get away with playing it. Just try.
No one can
we got a dumb
decipher it. No, you don't.
Eternal bliss. I heard that. Master plan.
Yeah. Fantastic, man. Fantastic.
Ooh. All right. Well, that's that brings us to the end of today's program. Thanks
I didn't
for joining
think
us, everybody.
I didn't think we would be playing Napalm Death on the radio today on 97.3 The Fan, but here we are.
You really never know what direction the show is going to take you in. We will be back tomorrow for the Friday edition of Ben and Woods. Hopefully, I'm a little more recovered from whatever it's been, but
all right.
Glad I made it today.
Drive safe.
Great job.
Everybody drive safe out in San Diego, please. We need the tier ones to stay alive for now, at least. Graydon is coming up next for our executive producer, Paul Reindl and Stephen Woods. I'm Ben Higgins. Have a great rest of your Thursday from all of us here at San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. So long, everybody.